Right, there we go. Swifty, over to you, mate.
Good evening, Hello all. Welcome on this Sunday evening, or morning, or wherever you are. This is Nerdz D&D. This is our new adventure. This is session 1 of our new adventure, Shadows over Hollow Tree.
Woo-hoo!
So just a couple of quick announcements before we get going. So I just want to shout out to tomorrow night, I think there is Everlorn,
Yes.
one of our other campaigns, and that is hosted by Ekim. So that's in session. What session's that on now, Jinz? That's on
episode
4?
episode 4 or 5. They're coming up soon.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So catch up on that. And then next Saturday we have Lantern Song, hosted by the one and only Jinz. And then we have, oh my god, trying to think what episode we're on, Power and Prophecy on the 23rd, hosted by Young Timber. And then I just want to give a quick shout out to Roxy. So she is one of the admin in the background that sets all our Twitch up and does all the good things that need doing in the background. So quick shout out to Roxy. And then we got some socials that will be blurted around, probably in the comments and things like that. So go and follow, go and catch up. Okay, I think that's it.
That's pretty much everything, mate.
That's pretty much it. So I'm going to dive straight in. So welcome. We have, for players tonight, we have Link, who is playing Danys. And then we have Jinz, who is playing Oldman Withers. And then we have Wendigo playing Winid. And Timberwolf playing, I'm not going to say the whole name, but I'm just going to stick with Francis.
Francis.
And then we have Danny, who's playing Erdan tonight. So
Little wizards.
let's see what we can get up to. Yeah, exactly. Right, okay, so let's get straight into it. So, welcome. This is Secrets over Hollow Tree. It's based within the continent of Dralis. And Dralis is created by, as we said, Young Timberwolf for our Power and Prophecy campaign. And this Secrets of Hollow, is based around 6 months prior to our current episode that we're on at the stage we're at in Power and Prophecy. The town of Hollow Tree is based in the northeastern area of Dralis, and it's currently experiencing a power struggle, and the outcome of which will be imperative for the future of the town and its people. How the players decide to tackle this conundrum is yet to be decided, and let's see how we go on. So here we go. The rhythmic creaking of wagon wheels and the steady clatter of hooves on dirt signal your slow journey towards uncertain fate. The air is thick with the scent of damp earth and rotting leaves, as towering pines cast long shadows over the winding road to Hollow Tree. Iron chains bite into each of your wrists. The cold metal is a constant reminder of your current predicament. Prisoners being transported to the small, isolated town for judgment. The guards, clad in dull chainmail and bearing the sigil of the Hollow Tree Magistrate, eye you with quiet suspicion. Some whisper amongst themselves, while others remain rigid, hands resting on the hilts of their swords. The reason for your imprisonment may differ, whether you're guilty, whether you've been framed, or merely just in the wrong place at the wrong time. But one thing is for certain, you won't be leaving Hollow Tree as soon as you hoped. So you are, to set the scene, if you didn't know already, you are all of you in chains in the back of a prison wagon. You are all in the same wagon. Your vision, as you sort of open your weary eyes, you realise the cold chains, and you look across at each of your prison mates, and you're sat opposite each other and next to each other. It's quite a cramped prison wagon. You have a chainsman who is helming the wagon you're on, and he, as you look up, he is in a dark brown robe, hood up, quite a bulky figure, bit of a hunchback. He's got a couple of chains wrapped around his neck, sort of dangling around, and he's grumbling to himself. And you don't know what he's grumbling. You can't make it out, but he's grumbling and muttering to himself, and you can tell he's not the happiest. You have 2 guards on horseback, and maybe 3 or 4 guards on foot that are sort of helming a wagon at the front. Looks like to be goods and general sort of bits and bobs in the wagon. And then you have a couple of guards next to you on foot. So I'll let you guys set the scene. Maybe if you can spur the moment, come up to maybe why you're in this prison wagon. Maybe you are framed. Maybe you've just been the wrong place at the wrong time. But as you all look up, you all see each other in this prison wagon. Over to you.
Francis, shackled, looks across to Winid, who has been his travelling companion for some time now, and will just shake his head, and then just lean forward and say, "I'm starting to wonder if perhaps we made a grave error coming north."
Well, I can assure you, this time it wasn't my fault. I know I've done a lot of things in the past, but this time it wasn't me.
This time. And
So
then
the rest of the other 3 of you... Oh, go on.
He'll just sit back and lean onto the cart and look around.
So you haven't got... None of you have got bags over your head. You're not muffled. So the rest of you 3 can obviously hear this. And as I said, as you look through the bars of the chain, you can see a couple of guards either side, and the horseback guards. And then the chainsman mumbling to himself, and you're creaking along. You're getting closer. So as you look up, you can see Hollow Tree, maybe half a mile away, if that. And you're creaking along this rumbling road. I don't know if...
In the corner, you can see a cloaked figure, robes drooped over his head, and you can see a big raggedy beard coming from underneath. Hey, you got any idea where we're taking us? I got no idea. He's just sort of looking at the 2 that were speaking just a minute ago.
Francis will kind of do a bit of a shrug forward and then pass the message up to this chain. Was he the chain master?
Chainsman, yeah.
Dear fellow, I don't suppose you'd be so kind as to inform us as to where it is you're taking us?
Oh, shut up! And he'll sort of just... you just see not even the side of his face, it's because it's hooded. You just see a little turn of his head through the hood. And he carries on, just little whip of the horse, trundle on.
Well, you heard the man, Francis. We're heading to... Just shut up.
He sounds like a bit of a dick. Oh dear. Oh, my old bones. This weather is no good for them, you know. The joints start acting up, and I'm just an old man. I don't even know. They framed me, man. It's not my fault.
That's what I was saying.
If I was back at my shop, I'd have some ointment to tell you, but I'm not at my shop.
Everyone's innocent until they're not. And then Francis will just lean back.
Yeah, I totally agree. Like, I was just out walking, you know, I got this big stick, and I was just walking along, and next minute some guys grabbed me and said I was committing crime, some sort of magic. I do no magic, I'm just an old man.
Yes.
When it's you're just gonna see him just slowly look him up and down. Ha. Okay.
I'll cast my eyes over. So is it apart from the us? Is there anybody else? Any other prisoners? There's Erdan and myself.
No. So what you do notice as you look up, you see obviously Hollow Tree, like I said, maybe half a mile or a town, as you know, and yes, there's a chainsman, 2 on horseback, 2 guards on horseback either side, sort of a bit further up, and maybe 5 guards on foot. Turn around. There is another cart, but it's open top, the cart, and it's just got crates in it. There's no. You don't see, as you look around, you don't see any other prisoners or anybody else that looks to be in chains or anything like that. It's just you 5 in the back of a prison wagon.
Sorry, go on.
I was going to say I'll have a look for Erdan, where he's sitting, and I'll just kind of taking in a little bit of what I can see. I don't know how much, if he's hooded or anything like that, but I think I'll just kind of like lean forward on the car. What's your story?
I lean forward, giving you nothing more but a disapproving look.
Sassy.
Sassy one.
I think Francis will just try and hold it for a moment, and then just kind of say,
DM, how are we bound?
So I know Francis or Timber was doing it in front. You are actually behind your back. Oh, God.
Oh, okay. Behind the back.
Doesn't matter. What you are bound by shackles, metallic shackles, and you're not connected to anything.
Okay.
So it's just your hands. And what you do notice is you have no weapons, or your bags or your kit is not there. But you are just free to. You can probably get up on your knees, I would say.
Is there
it's
a
not
roof to it? Are we like locked in the back of a
Yes.
wagon? Okay, all right.
Yeah, it's a roof to it. Sorry, yeah, it's not open. And it's like a jail cell, like an old-fashioned jail cell, but full coverage over the top.
Okay.
Very hard wagon. What you do notice is on the floor is some dodgy blood stains. One pair of shackles that are loose. And that aren't, used to have someone in them. You see a clump of hair in the corner where it looks like it was a struggle of some sort. But yeah, you are free to kneel up, and probably the shorter. I mean, when I say kneel, it's normal human height. Obviously, halfling. If you're sort of under 4 foot, I suppose you could.
Is there any windows?
Yeah, it's all open, so it's grated.
Oh, okay.
So you can see out. You can see out. Yeah, it's like a front of a jail cell, prison jail cell, grated, so you can see out. And you can see these guards. You can see out into the trees. As you probably gathered from the picture, it is a very faint drift of snow. The snow is not deep on the ground. It's not untrackable. You can run in it. You can, if you were free, obviously. So yeah, it's not a horrendous snowstorm. It's just a little light trickle of snow.
Do I know where I am? Do I recognize any of the area?
You are in a wooded area. I'm not sure you would recognize it, but as you look up, if you knew Nostramar from the Dralis campaign or the Dralis map, you would know Hollow Tree, and you would know Hollow Tree by a rather large mansion on the top of one side, and then a walled town.
Okay.
I wouldn't say it was a city, but it's not a village. It's a town. But you can see it maybe through the trees up the tracks ahead. Not too far now, as you're getting a bit closer. Bear with me.
I can see there's you guys a couple of Dragonborns. Are you two friends? You two together?
Dragonborn.
Right,
Yes.
You see, Francis will just be like behind, like, oh, he can't because he was just like,
Wow, what did I say?
Hey.
Did I say something? Did I say something
You're just
wrong?
gonna notice his snout slightly curl, like, I am no Dragonborn.
Wow, he looks like a lizard. It is a lizard. You know what? That's what my dad used to tell me.
When it's just gonna like slightly slump back in the wagon, just like start marching. I just lean and just say, "Let it go, let it go."
Yes, I know. Breathe, I know.
I'm sorry if I come across a bit, up front. I'm like 72 years old. I don't care anymore. When it comes in my head, it comes out my mouth. I do apologize.
I love this Withers guy already.
I'm trying to work out
New
the voice
York,
sounds like.
Bronx.
It is Bronx, New York,
Yeah.
isn't it? That's what it is.
I like it.
Papa John's Pizza or something. That's what it. Yeah.
So-
Papa John.
As you're trundling along, the chainsman is mumbling again. He's a bit, you could say, annoyed and rather irked that he's got to do this job. And you're getting closer. You're maybe 200 meters away from what you can see is the walls of the exterior of Hollow Tree. They're not high. They're maybe, I don't know, 20 foot. They're not obviously used for sieges or combat or anything like that. They're just a standard sort of perimeter wall. And you can see a couple of big archway, and one of the doors is open, so you can see it maybe 200 meters off in the distance. And as you're trundling along, you're sort of pottering around in the back of this wagon, and it's not a very comfy ride, clearly. And then all of a sudden, out of nowhere, chaos ensues. What you notice as you all look around is arrows whistle through the air, finding their marks in the side of the wagon, and the other wagon takes a couple of arrows. It's all off to your right-hand side, as you're looking towards Hollow Tree, all off to the right. You don't see where the arrows are coming from, you just see darkness sort of out towards the trees. One of the guards takes an arrow to your side and he falls to the floor. And there's a bit of chaos, and as you look to your right, there's maybe 4 or 5 hooded figures that are charging, shouting at the guards. The chainsman jumps down and he runs, and his little hunchback, and you can see he's quite a small fellow, and he scurries off before he gets caught up in anything. He scurries. The 2 guys on horseback turn and start running towards these hooded assailants. And as you are sort of wondering what you can do, how you can do it, more arrows come hurling in. One takes the side of your wagon, one hits one of the other guards, and he falls. A shout goes up, and a panicking neighing of horses. These masked figures come from that thick underbush, and as you can see, they're running closer, and these blades are glinting now. And the guards barely have time to react. A few of them are cut down now. There's only a couple remaining, and the one of them takes another arrow. One of them takes another sword, and they're cut down now. There's one guard left, and he just panics and runs.
Hey!
So there is absolutely no guards left.
But DM, given a general perception, like just a look around, are we getting the impression that is this mere luck that these arrows aren't hitting us, or does it seem that they're intentionally not aiming for us?
Roll me a perception check, or what would it be? An insight or perception? Maybe a perception check.
Perception. So I'm going. I get actually advantage on this on perception. So first
okay.
one.
I better remember that
First
for.
one is a 9. I actually get quite a few advantages. So I've got a 20.
Oh, okay. So with the 20, you definitely know that these arrows are not purposely not aiming for you.
Fantastic.
What you do know is that these arrows are purely aiming for guards. With the 20, they are specifically taking out the guardsmen and the magistrate guards of Hollow Tree.
Has the wagon stopped?
Yes. Oh, the chainsman jumped. The horse is probably got an arrow or 2 in its side. Yes, the wagon has stopped.
Hey, you're gonna let us out? Like, what's going on? This is ridiculous. Come on. Oh, I don't want to die.
Francis, this isn't looking good.
Quite to the contrary, I would suggest, looking around and obviously taking in what I just said, that this could well be our rescue. possibly, with a little bit of like dubious kind of doubt at the end there, like possibly our rescue.
I know that smile, Francis.
So
I know that look.
I'd still keep your head down if I was you, and I'll try and lean to the side to keep my head below something that is wooden.
So, with that, the last of the guards is scythed down, and the last of the scattered guards, the guards on horseback have gone, and some of the bandits disappear back into the woods, and there's maybe 5 or 6 bandits left. I say bandits; they're masked figures with black robes and armor, leather armor on, and hoods up. And one of the bandits actually walks up, a tall, a scarred man with a bit of a cocky grin, steps forward, and he drawing his dagger. It's a wickedly curved dagger, and you can see it's quite ornate. And he says, "Just your luck. Your luck has turned. Lord Altharion Vale has use for you." And he picks up the one of the guards' keys off of the guards that was slain. He throws it through the bars, drops on the floor in the wagon in front of you all. And then he just posts a letter through the door that falls next to the keys. What you do know is this letter has got a whack crest on it with entwined serpents on the seal. And he tosses the letter through and vanishes back into the forest, leaving you with some keys and a letter.
So looking at everybody, who's the keys closest to? Just generally around all of us? Or?
They're right in the middle of. So you 5, sort of 4, 2 and 2 facing each other, 1 at the end, and they're sort of pretty much in the middle.
When it's going to leap for it, just shouting, "Come on first!"
So you could spin round and pick them up, sort of behind your back.
Bloody Dragonborn, all the same.
It's like the second I get out of these,
Are you picking up the keys or the letter or
the keys?
The keys.
The keys, right?
And you're going to try and unlock yourself or anybody else first?
I'm going to try and unlock myself, and then after I've done that, I'm going to scurry across to Francis and be like, "Right, let's get you out of here."
Okay, so for yourself then, just give me a sleight of hand check.
Oh no!
Oh yeah, don't mess this up.
I was just stuck in. Oh my god! Okay.
Don't look foolish in front of our new friends, Winid.
I did. I think I may have.
So, as you try and unpick or get your keys around to the shackles, you kind of fumble and they flick off out of sheer panic and sheer excitement, maybe, that you could have just freed yourself, but you bounce them off and they land in Danny's lap.
I'm just gonna slowly trace it as it tinkers along. It's like just look up at him and be like,
crap.
So
bounces into Danny's lap.
with them on my lap,
Danny, sorry.
So I'm thinking.
Dennis. Oh, my bad.
This is going to get confusing.
Well, yeah, just pick him up. Yeah, I'll just help him out. Help out Winid. He fumbled it. Fumbled that.
Withers
It's
is
the
just
claws. It's the claws.
Withers is just chuckling to himself in the corner.
None of us can get out of here. This is how we die. Shackled in this wagon.
Lizards fighting over a key.
Fighting over it? No.
Mucking about with a key.
Yeah.
Francis, say, whenever you'd like, my scaly friends, just Take your time. Take your time. It's perfectly warm. It's temperate climate out here.
My claws are numb, Francis. It's cold out here.
Hey, I have acid breath. Can I melt the chains?
You can try. Yeah. What are you using to melt the chains?
Acid breath. I'm a copper dragon born.
Okay. Yeah. They're behind your back. So I'm not sure. Can you reach over? I guess. I'm not sure.
Then can I get someone else's?
Yeah.
Whoever trusts me enough.
If you don't want to burn their hands.
That's a big ask. That's a big ask. Acid breath near my shackles.
Winid's just gonna hold up his shackles and be like,
I'll
and slowly reach them out.
So you have the keys on your lap, by the way, Danys. If you wanted to try, slightly better than a 2. Oh, was this your roll? Sorry, was that your 7?
Yeah.
Okay. Sorry, I didn't see the roll. Yeah. So okay, so you managed to get the key in the lock. As it's fairly cold and you're not used to it, you are struggling to undo it, but you have the key in the lock. You could maybe try and get someone else to assist if you go back to back.
Yes. Please. Please help.
I'm just letting Winid do this. I'm just enjoying this. It's far too much to interfere.
This is so entertaining. It's the most fun I've had in years.
Get over here, you giant
Man.
scaly git. And I'm just gonna scurry behind him.
So you're
just behind him, just try and do it from behind my back, try and turn it.
So just chuck me another sleight of hand check, and
Please.
it hasn't got to be stupidly
that's better.
high, but there we go. So fairly easily, takes you a couple of seconds, but you give it a little wiggle, and Danys chains, surely enough, pop off, and now you have the key back in your hand, Winid, as the shackles of Danys drop to the floor. What you do notice, by the way, guys, is there is a couple of keys on it. It's an array of 6 keys.
Oh no.
And 5 of them are the same. One of them's different.
Right.
Okay.
Who's the next closest to Danys?
So Erdan is next to Danys, I guess. You were opposite Francis at the end, and Withers is just sat in the corner.
Hey, I'm starting to cramp up over here. You gonna help an old fella out? This cold is getting right to my bones.
I'm gonna keep scurrying. I'm gonna scurry over to Francis again and be like, "Hold your horses, Grandpa. We'll get to you shortly."
So, as he's done, Chelsea, thank you, little brother. Nicely done. Nicely done.
I won't make you roll again. 15. Yeah, you'll be fine to undo Francis's and probably yourself as well. So you 3 are now free to crawl around the wagon as you so wish. It's not that big, by the way. You will be crawling over each other's lap.
One of those keys. Did you say there's a door on the back of this? There's like some kind of cell.
There is.
Chances are there's going to be 5 for the shackles and 1 for the door, most likely. So I'll wait until everybody's free.
I don't want to hand it on a silver platter, but you may be right. Yes, I would try it once. You are.
So once Old Man Withers is out and Erdan's out and everybody, I'll just nod to Winid and just say, perhaps maybe try that gate. Let's get out of here.
So Winid, as you go around, you unlock Erdan. You find the shackles just drop off. You give your little wrists a bit of a rub. You know, it's quite cold. And Withers, you have your tiny little wrists with tiny little, fairly small shackles. And Winid, you manage to unlock them fairly easily.
As he unlocks them, Withers just gives him a wink.
Cheeky.
As you sort of reach your hand through, I won't make you, given that we've had a 50-50 good roll and a dodgy roll, I won't make you roll for this one. But as you reach through, you do not drop the keys out of the wagon.
Hey.
You manage to unlock the wagon. And yes, the wagon surely enough unlocks, and you are free to jump out.
We Francis will hop down and then immediately looks around for our gear.
Okay.
Can
So
I pick up the letter?
yes, that's a very good idea.
Well done, I've forgotten about the letter. That's worth a look, definitely.
So we'll
also-
come back. So as you look around, give me just a quick perception, and I'll give you a general overview of what we see.
So first is 17. It's advantage by. Yes, 5.
17's
So
enough.
17's,
17's
yeah.
fine. So you notice it's quiet now. There's a few dead guards on the floor. The horses have been maimed. The other 2 have gone. So the horses on the front of the wagons. It's almost serene a little bit now. Again, you see maybe 100 meters, 150 meters up the road, up the track where you were heading, the front gates of what you recognise as Hollow Tree. And the wagon in front that was carrying the crates, various crates and things. You notice your bag on the crate in front, with all your kit in it. If any weaponry is stuck to the side of the bag. And you notice 4 other packs, in fact, on the same wagon.
I'll seeing it. I'll just give Winid a tap on the shoulder and just direct him towards our packs and say, for when you're ready. But then I'll just generally to the others as well and say, I stored all of our gear on there. To anybody who wants to.
Someone give an old man a hand down. It's far way down off the back of this wagon. Hey, big guy, you give me a hand. Pointing at
DM,
Francis.
can I do an insight check to see if he's as old and decrepit as he makes out, or if he's just like, what's that guy from Game of Thrones, that master?
Yeah. What was his name? The one who's the one who has all the women back to his place. Yeah. Go on. Yeah, no, roll an insight.
Should we roll insight?
With his
against each other?
I would see it's a dirty old codger like you. Oh shit! I get disadvantage of this. No, I get -1 on this. 13. 13.
What did I got an 8.
Got an 8. So,
as you look at Withers, you notice that his legs aren't as scrawny as you would have imagined, and his wrists aren't as bony, and even though he has a big long beard, there's still a bit of life in this old fucker.
Oh, I knew it. Nonetheless, I will extend a hand and help him down.
Oh, you're so kind. You're so kind, young man. You're so nice of you.
Tap him on the back and just let him pass.
Oh, I used to be an adventurer until I took an arrow in the knee.
I knew there had to be a Skyrim reference in there somewhere.
I was so tempted to do the "Hey, Francis, you finally awake."
Yeah,
Finally awake.
Withers is just Actually, before he does that, can I check to see if any of the guards have any sign of life, please?
You can roll an investigation.
Investigation. 15?
Okay, no, that's okay. Yeah, so as you look around, they are very much maimed and dead. There is no sign of lifeguards. The guards that were alive have already bolted into the opposite woods. So as you were trundling towards Hollow Tree, the bandits or the masked guys came out from the right. Some guards shot off left, and they'd already gone and up the hill and disappeared into the woods to the far side. None of the masked guys gave chase to them. They just let them go. And the ones that remain, there's a couple of horses, like I said, that were pulling the wagon. They're sort of maimed and, arrows in the side and things. And maybe 5 or 6 guards lay strewn, very much dead as a doornail.
Can I take an arrow?
Yes, you can try and take an arrow.
Do you want me to?
No, you're fine. You can take an arrow. Yeah.
Snap.
Yeah.
Anything I noticed about the arrow? Anything in particular? Like, is it any?
You notice it's a little ornate than your standard arrow. It's not crazy ornate. You notice the black feathery, I don't know what you call it at the back. The sort of feathery type quill, is it?
Tail.
No, quills. Tail, yeah, I do.
Yeah.
Black tail. And Yes, you notice a sort of ornate swirl in the sort of tip, but nothing too intricate. But a small swirl.
Okay.
What you could probably make out is some sort of serpent-y type.
Okay.
So serpent-y type go at a casting of
That's best
an
that can be
arrowhead.
done.
Yeah.
Cool. Withers is just gonna go. He's heading for his kit. I'm gonna go get my stuff.
So you hobble over, you pick up your pack, and probably a staff or a walking stick to give you a hand.
You just see him pull off this. Looks very much like branch-esque. It's sort of 6 foot high, but at the end it's been carved, and there's like runes in the end. There's some kids in the village just carved this up for me.
Then it's just gonna have a wee, like, as he's walking past or whatever, he's gonna look at the runes, and be like, huh.
What are you looking at, scaly boy? And he just.
Winid's just gonna kind of look up to Francis and just.
Francis say, it's the north. Racism is just rife here, Winid. You need to just let it go. Learn
He's
to live
old.
with it.
He's old
Racism in the
school.
north.
He's old school. Yeah.
I'm a kobold. I'm a kobold. That should be the other way around.
Yeah.
Roxy, thanks
to
for
this
bits.
letter.
Hey.
Thank you, Roxy.
Thank you, Rox. Sorry, Danys.
Yes, there's this letter we need to look at.
Okay. Are you opening, looking, handing out?
Opening the letter, yeah.
You open it? Okay. So as you open the letter, like I said, there's a wax seal that bears this intricate crest of some entwined serpents. And as you pop the seal, you open it up, and it's not a very large piece of paper or parchment. And all it says in there is, "Meet me at the Gilded Stag in Hollow Tree. Discretion is expected. Opportunity awaits. Signed, Lord Altharion Vale."
Hmm. Seems
I like it.
important.
Mm.
Yeah, I'll pass it on to Winid.
I'll just see Danys walk over, and I'll be like, "What do you want, Dragonkin?" I'll just
This letter that he passed to us.
I'll take the letter from him, just read it over, and be like, "So, Francis, you said you were looking for opportunity."
Opportunities for coin, indeed.
Coin?
What are we saying?
Well, our Dragonkin here just found a nice little invitation to an opportunity for coin. So, and then I'll walk over and hand it over, and then freely you can do whatever.
Taking it, opening it, and just kind of glancing down, I said, given the nature of how we obtained this, I would suggest the least we can do is to attend, see if there is anything to be gained here. I'll pass it over to Erdan if he's in the vicinity, and say, I just hold it there, waiting for him to take it.
I take the letter and give you a small nod of approval. And as I read through it, I whisper thanks to my patron for the opportunity of this before I hand it over to Old Man Withers.
Would that have been in a way that I could hear that? Could I try it, like...
Would you have said it out loud or muttered it, or...?
Muttered, like, slightly inaudible, but if you're close enough, you could have heard a few words.
Potentially.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. I'll just pass it and then just nod and then just move closer to stand by Winid.
Withers is just at the cart, just smoking his pipe. He's just got out of his bag. Hey, what you got there? What you got for me? Letter. What's it say?
I say nothing and just hold out the letter for you.
Oh,
If I still, do I still have it?
Yeah,
Yes.
yeah.
Oh,
Yeah,
kids,
I just
give
hold,
it
I
here.
hold out the letter.
You just. No.
Good.
What was the name of
With
the,
his read.
what was the name of the pub?
So as you open it, you unfold it. It's slightly bigger in your hands, even though it's a small piece of paper for everyone else. And it says directly in the middle of with some sort of calligraphy type writing, so it's quite nice. It says, "Meet me at the Gilded Stag in Hollow Tree. Discretion is expected. Opportunity awaits. Signed, Lord Altharion Vale."
You notice as he's Withers is reading it, he's sort of pulling up to his face, and his vision's obviously going a little bit, and you just see him go look around, and he clicks his fingers, and his hand just lights up ever so slightly, and he's like, and he casts a cantrip light just to have a look, like, and he's like looking around to make sure, see if anyone can see him, and he's just like, okay, I need a bath anyway, I stink, so tavern, yeah, sounds good.
I assume it's a tavern. It sounds like a tavern.
And
with regards to your stench, I had noticed.
Even the chainsman that was transporting you smelt a little bit better than Old Man Withers in the corner.
Oh my God.
You could have mistaken was sort of going off a little bit and
what can
maybe
I say?
been there a lot longer than any others.
What can I say? A man of my age, it's just hard to get in those joints,
Is it a stink of urine and lavender, or are there other smells like mixed in there as well?
He smells a bit herby, like all
Herby.
sort of different sort of alchemist herbs you can imagine.
Yeah.
And yeah, it's just a bit BO-y, just really BO-y, like he's ran a mile.
Oh, okay.
You may expect like he stinks of like cigarette butts and everything as well.
He smells of like pipe weed as well, so he's just yellow teeth.
I can live with that, to be fair. I can live with that. I'll live with that. It's fine.
So, does anybody want to do anything in particular, or are you heading a certain direction? Are you?
How far are we outside of town?
You're about 150 meters. You can see the gate, the front gate, with the external wall.
This was a close ambush.
Question, DM. With the attack on the wagons, was there any sort of visible sign of guards on the gate that came, or were they just all running towards the gate? If we're that close.
No, there was no sign. You can't see any guards from where you are. There was no guards came running from the town. The gate is half ajar, so you can't see totally into the town. But you can make out there's some, fairly reasonable 15-foot maybe wooden doors. They're not, like I said, this doesn't look like a town that is built for garrisons and battles and things. It's just your standard town, really.
I've just got one concern. I just got a concern. We were in the back of a prison wagon, and we're going into the town where they were taking us for the prison wagon. You know what I'm saying? We might get a bit of trouble here.
I mean, it's going to be an empty prison wagon with so many number of shackles, and they're empty, and then they have newcomers coming in.
I know, you know what I'm saying?
What you do know is that nobody noticed from the town. Like I said, nobody came running. All the other guards ran in the opposite direction, so none of the guards ran towards town. I'll just leave that on there.
Other than the gate, is there anything to note about the surroundings?
Not really. Nothing particularly untoward. So, like I said, it's a very, very light, dusty kind of snow. Like I said, some pine trees, a bit of a sort of a thin-ish wooded area, and the woods sort of lead almost right up to the front gate. Like I said, the wall is probably 20 foot high. You don't see any guards on the walls. You don't see any sort of turrets or any sentries walking around or anything like that. You don't see anything unusual. No.
Looking to Erdan, Withers, and Danys in particular, I guess we're all in close proximity with one another. I will, once we've gathered our gear and I check Winid's okay, that he's got all his gear and stuff like that, I'll turn to the other three of them and I guess formally extend a hand and say, Francis, Velmontaro to the south, monster hunter by profession, and then I'll kind of like direct an eye towards Winid. This associate of mine is Winid. He helps me with the monster killing.
More than help.
he is instrumental in the monster killing. We intend, and I'll look to Winid just to confirm, we intend to go into town and find out what this is about.
Hey, you're the boss. I was following your lead beforehand. You led us here.
Would you three care to join us until such time as we know?
You can call me Withers. People call me Old Man Withers. Some call me Witherbone. Just call me Withers.
Withers.
Yeah.
Good to meet you.
Well, I wish I could say the same.
That's an understandable response. Most have a similar response. I've come to expect that. Old bastard.
And he just steadies himself on his staff. He's sort of leaning forward, looking at Artie, just like, okay, let's go into the town where they were taking us to jail.
So I'll just look to Erdan and Danys then, just to see if they're in agreement to go in together, I suppose.
Well,
I'm with you. I'm with you.
All right. I will too. Don't want to be the odd one out.
All right.
Okay.
Well,
so you all head in?
We'll head in.
Withers is trailing at the back, just making a real point that he's old.
with his staff and his dodgy old man.
You can just see his trail in the snow, his 2 footprints and like a pole. Footprint.
When it is actually using his trail in the snow to actually get through it more easily. Just like up to his waist. Like...
Francis will walk slow enough that he can just move and just keep himself behind, just to kind of bring up the rear, basically, but somewhat frustrated with a slow pace. Just kind of the occasional huff as he just kind of walks to kind of keep intentionally behind as much as possible.
So as you three are walking, Withers is more shuffling. Who is, just out of interest, who is helming this small party forward?
Won't be me.
Withers will be at the front. Just
okay. So you're all following the slowest. You're only as fast as the slowest. But okay. So as you all take a little shuffle up to the up towards Hollow Tree, as you walk in, you don't see any other signs of these masked people. You're sort of taking in a bit of the surroundings. You're getting closer. You do see smoke beyond the wall, general chimney smoke. You notice off to the left and up the hill slightly, just the top. You see the top of what looks to be a bit of a mansion. And down to the right, you just see the top of a very small spire down to the right. And it's almost like that's the extremities of the town. And then as you're getting closer to the gate, you notice, like I said, it's ajar. It's maybe, well, it's a door, not a jar. It's about 15 foot, and it's slightly, sorry, it's slightly open. Do you wish to enter, Mr. Withers, as the helm of this?
He's just going to point his head around
troop.
and go, "Hello, is anybody here?"
You hear a hello?
Yeah, we're just sort of looks back at the pie. We're just some travelers, just walking down the road. Nothing strange happened.
You're just gonna hear just a very light from the background, just behind me.
Based on that hello that we just heard, which again sounds old and decrepit, I'm channeling my inner Newt Gunray from Phantom Menace. Oh, this is getting out of hand. Now there are 2 of them.
So as you hear the response of who goes there, you see a human hand grab the door, swing it open, and just usher you in. Come on through. What are you doing? Who goes there?
What do we see?
You see a standard guard of the magistrate of the same crew that were slain back when. He doesn't bother coming out. He's not used to this. He doesn't look like he wants to be there. He wants to be down the tavern drinking, so he's not at all arsed about letting people through.
Hey there. We just like I said, we're just on the road, and we just we just came down the road, and we just came down the road.
You five know each other then?
Oh yeah, we're good friends. Good friends.
Oh,
Good
good.
friends.
We got
Informally.
we got those Scaly over there. We got Horntail. Spooky Kid at the back, and Big Guy. Yeah, just you don't need to know our real names. It's just our names.
Oh, I'm not interested in names. Where are you headed anyway? What business you have in town?
Oh, we're trading. You know, we're just trading.
When it's just gonna poke his head around the door, go, food and shelter.
Oh, well, come on in. You're on back trading, did you say?
Yes.
What are you trading in?
Let's see. Well, I got
Francis will cut in and say blood.
Oh, bloody hell. Well, we're not quite equipped to deal with blood, but I mean, if it's herbs you're after, or fish,
Herbs, yeah,
or
herbs. That's the one. That's what we're dealing. Yeah, we're
ah,
dealing
right,
herbs.
right, herbs. Sorry, dragon person. You were gonna say something?
Yes. I deal in entertainment. I usually find a tavern to go to and perform.
Oh, you're one of those. Ah, okay. Well, if it's herbs you're after, old man, then you want to head to the apothecary. He can't quite say it.
Apothecary, yeah. I love
Apothecary.
I love apothecaries. Yeah, they're great.
Pocket fairies? Yeah, I've heard of them.
You're just gonna hear him to say poke fairy?
Who's poking what fairy now? Yeah, well, the apothecary is down. I can't even say it now. Straight down the road here and into the market square and straight across, and you'll see it on the left hand side there. And one of your kind, if you're into a bit of music or whatever, you want the Gilded Stag, that's straight down towards the market square and on the right hand side. But yeah, hurry yourself along. I'm not supposed to let too many people in. And he sort of ushers you all through and sort of closes the gate. Realise that he left the gate slightly open and just shuts the gate behind you.
Oh, thank you. So kind. So kind. Just,
Okay.
you know. Come on, buddies. Come on, my really good friends. Come on, let's go.
Did any of the guards from that attack?
You're doing the Lord's work.
Did any of the guards from that attack run in this direction towards the town?
No, they all ran the opposite way. Yeah.
Okay. All right.
Yeah.
Cool.
So there is at the moment. I say at the moment there is no reason for suspicion for the guard. He wasn't at the gate looking out. He didn't see anything. It was all pretty dramatic and quick and over in a flash. And he's none. Like I said, he doesn't want to be there. He wants to be down the pub.
Get clear of the site, then, yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Well, just you five, just don't cause any trouble, all right? We've had a bit of mischief around town. Not too much, but we, just don't cause any trouble, and you'll be fine. But yeah, Gilded Stag down on the right, Willow's Wares down on the left. Enjoy.
As we're walking past the guard, I just want to just lean into him as we're passing and say, "You say trouble? We talking about monster trouble?"
No, nothing like that. Just a bit of trouble down the old tavern. We had to kick one of the guys out not too long ago, but just general town's trouble. But as you can see, we're not in it for war. We're not a battle type town. We keep ourselves to ourselves, or we try to. So it's just mainly contained in town. But no, we don't see many monsters up here. Only the people kind,
Understood. And with that, I'll carry on walking.
Before we walk away, can I ask the man if he's seen any masked, dressed in black bandits around? Or if
Good
there's
idea.
anything to do with it?
You can. Well, mass bandits. Well, we ain't got bandits as such, but we have got a enforcement agency, I suppose, that wear a bit of black. They put their hoods up now and again. But yeah, we got the veiled blades. They tend to knock about town a bit, and well, they don't cause trouble as such. They sometimes resolve trouble, shall we say? Because we're just the magistrates' guards. We ain't nothing special. We're just in it for a bit of coin and a bit of easy work, really. But it's probably the veiled blades that keep the most peace. But yeah, they wear a bit of black. They got their little sigil on, and yeah, that's it really.
What does the sigil look like?
Their sigil, well, I think it's a couple of a little bit like a lesser version of you with no arms and legs, really, just a little snaky thing.
Yeah, you know what I mean, these bloody snakes.
In terms of what he said about the veiled blades, is he telling the complete truth? Can I
Can you roll an insight check?
insight? Where is that?
Your first roll of your first game of D&D.
Hey.
Come on,
you didn't roll
beginner's luck. Come on,
didn't roll a
beginner's
sleight
luck.
of hand check to do.
If you go to skills in your menu.
Oh, skills. Okay.
Come on, beginner's luck. Come on.
What was it? Insight.
Insight check, yeah.
Okay.
You got to roll high.
Oh, 4.
Oh,
He is completely genuine. You are none the wiser. Yeah, no, he's just saying it how it is. You don't notice anything untoward of this guard.
Okay.
I'm just
Oh,
gonna. Well, I don't know why I'm saying it in that voice. I'm just Withers is just gonna start trotting into town. Whether you guys are coming or not, he's just.
Yeah, I'll head in.
Shuffling off.
Hmm.
Okay. Are you all heading that way?
Yeah, if that's where
I
I
am.
was moving, I'll head in that
yep,
direction.
I'll follow after Francis.
Yeah.
Okay. As you all head down the sort of cobbly type street, much like in this image, you can see sort of houses, some smoke coming billowing from the tops, with the fires on, some lights on and out. It's sort of, I would say, mid-afternoon at this point, and there's some hustle and bustle, and down at the bottom, general townsfolk going about their daily business. And you're sort of, as you're meandering, you see a couple of kids down one of the alleys mucking about with one of the cats, and you see general market stall out the front, selling a bit of bread or whatever. And you're walking down towards this, I guess, town square, town centre, and you notice a bit of a fountain in the middle, and up sort of diagonally behind you to your left, if I can, describe that direction very well. You notice that big mansion, which was the top end of town, if you like, and you're heading down, and you can see the light glow of what looks like a tavern down on your right as you reach the market square, or the town square. There's a couple of market stores. There's nothing. It's not like a huge market with loads of stores. Across the way, you can see Willow's wares, big sign flopping about. Obviously, that's the apothecary. And then straight over the top of there, you see what looks to be that spire, that sort of ornate, religious-looking spire of a building. You only see the top of it still. That's at the bottom end of town. And then, just general houses around in this as you reach this sort of square, if you like.
As we're walking down, Withers is going to turn to Danys. Go, I don't think I caught your name. Was it? I don't think I caught your name back at the truck. What's your name, buddy?
Just while you're doing
yeah.
a quick introduction, I'll take 2 minutes. I'll be back in a sec.
No problem.
Right. Well, I'm Danys.
Danys, nice to meet you. Did I hear you say you're a bard?
No, they didn't. I just said it before.
Oh, okay. What'd you do? If you don't
Oh yes, I'm a bard.
Okay, sorry. I used to sing a little bit myself, a little I love a bit of music. A little tapping at the old knee.
Yeah.
Gets the blood flowing,
Yes, of course, I understand.
And he just starts to jig a little bit like, you gonna sing me a little ditty later? I love a little song.
I don't think, no.
Oh.
I do have my trumpet with me, though.
Oh, a trumpet. Nice.
Yes. Yeah. But, yeah.
We just start trotting on down.
Yeah.
As we're walking along, I'll just look up at Danys and go, "Does the dragon know any magic tricks?" And you'll see like a few sparks in Winid's hand as he's like fiddles with his fingers, and he's like a slight grin along his snout.
Yes, I do. You see, like a green swirl. He lifts up his hand. Green swirl, kind of just dances about.
And that's something I haven't seen in a while.
Withers just looks at him, shakes his head, and goes, "Yo, you don't want to mess with any of that magic. It's awful stuff. Anyone comes near me, I just whack him with my stick. It worked for me for years."
Ah, yes. that would work on people.
Yeah, big bonk
I
on the
imagine.
head. It just knocks him down.
Sometimes the blunt method is the best method.
Yes. I haven't seen many swords go through a helmet.
I don't see many swords. I don't see many swords go through a helmet.
Yes.
Did you just say? Francis will come back and say, depends how much force you put behind them.
Well, I haven't seen many people use that much force then.
It'll just.
You've challenged him now.
Oh, we got dueling straight away in the market square.
Oh, I'm not trying to incite no duel.
What time of day is it, DM?
So it's about midday.
Okay.
Again, it's still just lightly dusting of snow. Fairly clear. It's not cloud, but you see a sort of like little breaks and sun shafts of light sort of beaming through now and again.
I don't know about you boys. I'm gonna go wet my whistle.
So as you get to the bottom of the street, you notice the sign swaying out the front gently. Reads the Gilded Stag with a nice gold ornate stag on the sign, and you notice it looks quite a well-to-do tavern. It's not your standard old shanty tavern. It's quite a respectable-looking establishment from the outside. And yeah, you hear some general hustle and bustle inside. Lights glowing, and
Withers' eyes light up a little bit. He's a little bit excited. I haven't been to anywhere this in a long time. I just. Do you reckon they serve food in there, like nice hot food? Maybe I can have a bath or something.
Francis looking at the establishment and kind of taking it all in and say, a place like this will probably offer more than food and drink and hot baths and beds. I know the type. And he'll look at Winid.
Winid will just be nudging Francis's legs.
He'll tap at Winid on the shoulder and say, "Best behavior in here, my friend. This is where the high-paying contracts will be."
Oh, goody.
You and I were thinking two different separate things.
I know. And with that, I'll wait for them to go in.
Winid will just have like a wee cackle as he's walking alongside Francis.
okay.
Withers just pushes his way in.
So you heading in,
Yep.
and
Indeed.
hopefully, as you open, if you flick to the beyond screen, hopefully it.
Ooh.
Oh, you might have to reload it,
It's coming.
and hopefully you should see. There we go.
Ooh.
So you see this nice, like I said, nice establishment. and you see the table to your in front of you. Sorry, you see the chap that looks quite nicely dressed, and it's almost like when you enter a restaurant, you are greeted, with a wait to be seated here kind of scenario, and some general commoners dotted around. And just keeping themselves to themselves and muttering away. Hopefully that music has come through. Is that coming through?
It is, yeah. Like tavern
that's good.
ambience. Yeah,
Oh,
that's
okay.
good.
This is a real fancy joint. Look at this, and he stops. Withers just licks his hands and just does his beard.
This is a fancy joint.
Good day, fine sirs and dragons and creepy people. How can I help you?
Yeah.
We're after some food. Beer, bath. I want some comfort. It's been a long journey, my friend. It's been a really long journey.
We're here to
Oh,
celebrate
well.
the old man's birthday.
Yeah, my birthday. How can I forget?
His 110th birthday.
Oh, it's your 110th birthday.
He just looks at Francis. Yeah. Apparently, yeah, it's 110th birthday.
Blimey. Well, would you like a table, or would you like to sit at the bar? It's entirely up to you.
Withers just looks at the party.
You can carry on to the bar as you wish, or I can show you to a table.
Can I
Go on.
whisper to Francis, mentioning that we could get more discretion, as it said in the letter, if we had a table?
Someone's got a brain.
He has got a brain.
It's 110th birthday. Let's party!
Francis will lean in with keeping the eye, just glancing around the place and say, "Very astute. We will aim for a table of some kind and wait for this sponsor to come and find us." Then kind of direct to the person that's greeted us and say, "Some kind of table or booth would be sufficient."
Oh, well, a table. We have a lovely table just at the front here. If you would like to follow me, and he ushers you to through past the front of it, across the nice little rug, down a couple of steps, and you see the table as you are situated around one of the larger tables that will seat all five of you.
As we're walking over, Francis will just turn to Withers and say, "But you don't look a day over 95.
I look good for my age. Okay, I'm a young 79.
You'd have fooled me.
Oh,
Uphill paper round,
very
isn't
nice.
Paper.
So as he sat there, as you sit down, the young fine gentleman says, "Would you like anything to drink, or would you like anything to eat? If you want to, I can send over the barman, and in 2 minutes he'll come and take your order if you so wish. If there's anything else, please feel free to give Eldrick a shout. Edric, sorry. My God. But okay. Have a good day and a good evening and a good afternoon, and we wish you a pleasant stay."
Thank you.
And with that, he disappears back to sort of showing people in the front door.
As he disappears, other than what you've already described, is there anything outstanding about this tavern? Any suspicious-looking doors, like anything at all?
Nothing that you can see. Sorry, when I say no suspicious-looking doors, there's nothing concealed that you notice. There's no sort of dodgy brickwork. But if you're going to investigate that, you may have to walk around and have a little good investigation. What you do notice is either side of you. So behind you, Winid, and obviously behind you, Withers, you see a couple of sort of curtains that look to be in some to some back room or to some other part of the establishment that is not open to the general public.
Okay.
You did notice, however, the barman, Edric, as you walked past, as you were shown to your table, he's quite a, what's the word? Well-respected looking chap. He's quite a general. He looks like he could be an older adventurer. He's got a brown waistcoat and just your white standard shirt with the sleeves rolled up behind the bar. Bit of stubble. Bit like a fit-looking Richard Gere, really. Kind of chap behind the bar. He did give you a dodgy look as you walked past. Not a dodgy look, but he did clock you and sort of take a mental note and get back to shining his glasses. No, all five of you as a general group.
Okay.
Is there anyone else giving us a look? We are
No,
strangers
just
from out of town. No one?
No, they're sort of going about their business, milling around and having their own conversations. And nobody really notices you too much. You see, obviously, a table next to you there, some at the back in a little side booth that were just chatting and eating. Look to be drinking quite fancy wine. So yeah, nothing too suspicious glances coming your way, other than a quick nod of oh my god, who are these guys, or are these guys coming into my establishment from the barman?
Francis,
Who are we supposed to be meeting then? Sorry.
it's okay. The gentleman who signed off on the note we received was a Alfarian Vale. So I assume we're looking to speak to a gentleman by that name. But Francis taking in the establishment and the kind of the fancy wine and the fancy, the general vibe of the place. We'll just add to that and say, mostly to Winid, but as a general for everybody to hear. So I would go as far as to suggest that our coin purses may be a little bit lighter eating and drinking and residing in this establishment. It is uncharacteristic for one of my profession to offer this, however, given the circumstances and the last contract going somewhat well for myself and for my associate here, I will get our food and drinks in here.
Wait, well, how much did you get paid?
You and I split it 50-50, this has always been the way.
And he's just gonna pull out his coin purse and be like untie it, look inside, just take out 1, 2.
So
I've only got 10 pieces.
And then turning back to Withers, he'll say, Alfarian Vale is who we're looking for.
Okay. Withers just starts to relax. He undoes his robes, and he's just got almost like a ragged sort of like a nightgown, almost it's like a long tunic, but clearly no bottoms and some sandals.
What does that do?
And
he's just the smell when that robe gets open.
He's just sat there akimbo, and his beard is just coming down, and he's just like, you know what? It's been a long time since I've been in somewhere like this. This is a real nice place, real nice place.
Just cover up.
This is the splendor of a human body. This is wisdom and age put together, my friend.
This is worse than walking through my tribe's market.
So as you're displaying your stupendous physique with your sort of Scroogey looking gown and sandals, the chap from the bar wanders over and stands sort of in between you, and introduces himself. Hi, my name's Edric. Edric Vanor. And this is my fine establishment, the Gilded Stag. What can I get you fine? And as he says fine, he sort of looks a bit over at Withers. And then, yeah, it's kind of, you fine gentlemen and gentlefolk. Can I get you some drinks? Can I get you some food? Or is it something else you may be after?
Francis will kind of glance around and say, Edric, I think we're in for both this evening, food and drink. My associates here will request as they like, and please, I'll put it on a tab for me to settle at the end of the night.
Oh, Franny, Franny, you getting this one?
Franny.
This one's on me.
I'll take the big grill. I want the mixed platter. I'll have 2 shots of Bavarian ale and a fire tart whiskey, please.
Oh my God.
Sorry, I didn't catch your name, old man.
You can call me Mr. Withers.
Mr. Withers, sorry, we only have a couple of drinks. We have a standard ale that will set you back 1 gold. It's brewed in this lovely town, but we do have something a little bit finer. If you finer people are after something a little bit upper taste, shall we say? We have Eldara's Embrace, which is sort of like an elven wine that we bring in. It's infused with honey and sort of rare herbs. Brings a bit of warmth and to the soul and a bit of clarity to the mind. And we do have a Blackwood brandy, if you would like to try. But we do have your standard tavern Hollow Heart Ale that will set you back 1 gold piece.
I love that. Let's get ourselves 5 brandies.
5 brandies. Okay.
Francis will gulp for a moment, then look to what was it? Eldrick? Was it Eldrick?
Eldrick is the barman. Yeah, Eldrick.
And then say the 5 brandies and 2 bottles of the wine. How much will that set me back?
Blumenex. So he's like 5 brandies. 25. That'll be 40 gold altogether. Did you say you wanted a tab?
If possible, yes.
Yes, we can. But please make sure to come to the bar, or I will. Obviously, we don't want anybody running off. Obviously, it's not a big town.
Hey,
but
we're
yes,
good
I will
for it.
put it on
We're
your
good
tab.
for it. You know, we're good guys.
You have
Okay.
my word.
Anything else?
And he looks around. Did we wish to eat as well?
I take the big platter, the double steak. I put some of those little chicken fries on the side, and a jacket potato.
So he hands you he sort of looks at you a bit funny as if to say, he's like taken aback a little bit, like, what kind of establishments has this guy been here? And he hands you a menu, and it literally has 2 things written on it.
What's this?
It has Hearthfire Venison Stew, or the Forest King's Feast. And next to it, the Hearthfire Venison Stew has 6 gold pieces per bowl, and the King's Feast has 15 gold pieces per platter.
No, he will turn and say 5 of the feasts.
5 of the feasts.
Oh, I
5
like
of
your
the
style. I like your style. I like this guy already. Oh, Franny, you're a
Winid.
good guy.
Winid's just looking at Francis and just so confused.
He'll look back to you and say, perhaps on this last contract we didn't get paid exactly the same.
I don't remember drinking that much when we celebrated.
Okay, 5 feasts coming, and he's not quite sure how to take this. And coming, and the same. Sorry, kind sir, I didn't catch your name. I have to write a name on the tab. Was it Franny? Did the old man say?
Francis. Just Francis.
Francis. Okay. I do need a family name. Sorry, because we don't want just a Francis. There could be many Francis.
And he kind of halts falters for a moment and says, "Of Dualis."
Of Dualis. Okay.
Off Dualis.
Off Dualis. Fantastic.
Dualis.
Thank you very much. I will bring your drinks right over, and the food will be about 20 minutes or so.
I'll start counting my
comfortable.
coin ready to pay that DM as well, so I'll pay him on his return. I'll pay that.
Oh, you're
now.
going to pay him, not on the tab?
I'll pay it. I'll settle it up when he returns. I'll
Okay.
put the bag. Let me know how much it is, and I'll settle that up.
Well,
Oh,
you
I can't remember.
bought me food. You bought me drink. Hey,
No,
sugar
my quick
tits. I'm,
maths
I'm,
suggests-
I'm yours all evening. You know.
My quick math suggests 75 for the food. I think
Yeah.
515. Did I get that right?
40, yeah, 75 and 40 for the drinks.
All right then. So yeah, 100 and Okay, yeah, cool. All right, I'll pay that when he comes back.
I'm
sort of
sorry,
like-
we were not paid equally.
No, we weren't, apparently.
10 gold. 10 gold.
So,
So you're looking a little bit out of
place.
place in this establishment, then, Mr. Withers and Winid, by the looks of it. Erdan, you're looking, you're sort of skulking into the background as much as you can, and Danys, you're sort of sat there, minding your own business. You hear the general hustle and bustle, and it's only a couple of minutes later, and Edric brings the platter of brandies over. And he places them down, puts the nice little napkins out on the table, and hands you all the little brandy glasses, the Blackwood brandy. And here you are, gentlemen. This is the Blackwood brandy. It's a deep, smoky brandy. It's aged in the ancient oak barrels from the Blackwood forest. It's strong, and it's got that warm hint of spice. But enjoy. Your food won't be long. And takes off.
and before he goes there, I've got a pouch of gold there. There's 115, which is what I've calculated is the cost, and I put an extra 5 in there to 120, and I just pass it back to him as he goes to pay for the meal and drinks.
Fantastic. Very much appreciated, Francis. That's very kind of you. And like I said, your food will be along shortly. Enjoy the brandy. But if there's anything else you need from me, then please don't hesitate to give me a shout, and I'll be straight over.
Thank you.
And he sort of walks with a slightly jollier strut back to the bar. And like I said, you get this nice, fresh, warm, spicy kind of brandy smell as you're looking down at your glasses.
Withers is going to take out his matches and just light the top of his.
Oh,
And then, boom.
Nice. Straight down in one.
He goes, where it's like lit the top of his mustache and his beard where the fire was.
Okay, so you've downed it in one.
Yeah.
Can you give me a Constitution saving throw, please?
It's going to kill you. You're going to die. Like,
Uh,
literally, you're going to die.
Con. Oh, hang on.
This is a potent brandy, by the way.
Why isn't that
Cool,
rolling?
man. It's going to be
Oh, there we go. It's coming through.
It's 12.
Oh, that was a meets it, beats it. Okay, so you you take a big take the gulp of boiling hot brandy now as it's nice and warm as it goes down. But you've stomached it, and you get this nice glow coming from your stomach up through your mouth, into your back of your throat, and that's settled the nerves if there was any a little bit.
Well, that put hairs on your chest. Hey, Danys! And he just slaps Danys on the back.
Yes, of course. Was that an imitation of a fire dragon?
It's an old trick I learned in Falinor. You know, you gotta light the top, chin it back, it just burns. It's beautiful.
Francis will just watch him as he does that. Say, how many times has that burnt your beard off?
Wow. That's a story for another time.
Mm.
You sure
Yeah,
you've got
I
another
don't think I
birthday
can
left
do
in
that.
you?
Hey, Danys, you said you're a bard.
Yeah.
You reckon you could liven this joint up?
Well, I would, but I like to make my wallet heavier. I do. Nothing is free in this world.
Oh, that's fair enough. Franny will pay you. He's rich.
Franny,
Oh,
he's
you
obviously-
will.
Daddy, he's kind of watching. He says, perhaps a song for the price of the meal.
Ooh. Could be 75 gold richer.
Mm. Well,
So I persuade him to play his trumpet for the meal.
Why don't we go persuasion
Well.
versus rollies?
Oh, I'll do some rollies. I love some rollies.
It's up to you if you want to, Danys.
Up to you, buddy.
Are you taking
All right.
What's up?
Go rollies.
All right. You say you want me to
No,
roll
I-
what?
So if you, I guess, Francis, you rolling a persuasion or a
For persuasion, yeah. Rubbish at this.
If you just roll, what would be the normal? I'm trying to think now.
Take a 16 though.
It's not bad. Why don't we do? If you do a 16 or above, you get to choose or decline, politely decline. Anything below a 16, just roll a straight D20. You're up there
Just roll
performing, and
straight-
you'll take this. Yeah, straight D20.
20?
Fine, yeah.
Okay, cool.
Oh.
16.
Ooh.
Ooh.
So you have a big decision to make.
Alright, well.
There's a few.
Again, how
go on.
much would I be getting paid?
How much does he get paid? No. I've bought you dinner and your drinks, mate. I want to hear a trumpet song as in payment for the dinner and the drinks. That's what I'm asking you to do.
Oh.
When others just claim and say
well,
nothing's free in this world.
I haven't drinking yet, and I ate last week. I should be good for like the next month. I should be fine.
He tried his best.
We
And
tried.
with
I'm
that,
not-
Perhaps
I'm
later
not
you
gonna hold
can.
it. Yeah, I'm not going to hold him to it if he
Hey.
doesn't want to.
Try to persuade the barkeep to pay me to do it.
Yeah,
Ooh.
we'll see what he says when we come over. Where's that
Exactly.
bloody food? Hey, friend, are we getting some more drinks?
I was waiting to see if anything was going to be strutted out on this stage in front of you. The stage, you are sat next to the stage, by the way. If you scroll down
Oh,
slightly, you can see the stage in front of you there.
Oh yes, so we are.
That would have been a
yeah.
prime opportunity to strut down onto the side. And with that, Edric comes over, and he's got two platters, and they're quite large platters. And he hands them down to Francis as you paid. He hands it down to you and Danys in the between you. Hands you one, hands you the other. Scurries back and brings the others out two, and then the final one. And it's you see this lavish platter of roasted pheasant, and it's stuffed with nuts and dried fruit. And it's got like a spiced berry sauce all over it, and it's got a side of buttery mashed potatoes and steamed greens. It looks really like a king's feast almost,
Make me
but
hungry.
for one. And you're gonna
Me hungry as well.
yeah. I was like, my mouth's watering as I'm saying it. So yeah, you get this
Sunday roast now.
lovely hint of spiced pheasant, nuts and fruity spiced berry sauce, and the mashed potato and the greens and yeah. Well, there you are, fine gentlemen. I hope it's to your expectations. Please, if there's anything else, do not hesitate to grab myself, and I'll see what I can do. Enjoy your food. Enjoy your feast. Thank you. And
Francis
leaves you
will
to
just-
it. Does a little sort of curtsy kind of bow thing, and walks backwards a few steps, and then turns and sort of wanders off back to the bar.
Oh, Francis will just kind of direct to each of them, just say, well, tuck in then, gentlemen. And with that, just start carving away and just start eating. So,
Yeah, Withers has got the pheasant. He's like,
as we're starting to tuck into this, can I have a bit of a glance around DM and see if I can see anybody that might, I would say fit the description because we've not had a description, but anybody that might look like they are waiting for somebody to turn up? Or
Correct.
anything?
Yeah. So roll me a good perception check.
A good perception check. Okay,
Yeah.
that's it's either a 9 or it's a. I'll take a 19.
Oh, 19. with a good 19. Is it just perception? Sorry, you get.
There's advantages on a few things I've got: Arcana, History, Investigation,
Oh,
Nature,
okay.
Perception.
So there's more than one. Okay, you have to let me know as we go.
I'll let you
that's
know
fine.
as we go.
Yeah. Okay. So with a 19, you see a couple of other folk are having the venison stew and general people sitting next to you, some conversations. With the two curtains either side, Sis Edric giving you a few glances every now and again, and they're getting a little bit more nervous as the longer you stay. What you do notice, so to your left, to Francis's left, so behind Winid and Danys, you'll see the curtain that is there that goes off into another sort of private area, if you like, starts to twitch a little bit. And just an eye, a little, like a curtain peeper eye comes through, and a couple of times as you're eating your meal, you're sort of glancing up, and you see a few little glances, and the curtain move and go back again. With a 19, you also hear from the opposite side, so behind Withers, you hear a bit of a ruckus, and as you're eating your meal, you see a couple of guards, a bit of a ruckus, and a couple of guards as escorting what looks to be a bit of an intoxicated, I would say, half noble-ish looking fellow out past the tables, and come on, you can't be doing that. Not in these types of games, Come on. And as he hauls the two guards, one either side of this noble intoxicated, you can't take me out of here. I paid to be there. You can't do this to me. And throws him straight out the door. And they just stand guard outside the door for a bit. So okay. That was a good roll. Thanks for that.
That's all right. So with the guy seeing the side with the guy twitching and Erdan is to my side here, I'll just subtly direct with my knife towards the my cutlery knife towards the side there, and just say, I'd suggest the gentleman that we are looking for maybe through there.
What did the note say? Note said sit at a table, or what did it say?
You want me?
Good question. Yeah, what did it say in regards to any other instructions with finding them?
Meet me at the Gilded Stag in Hollow Tree. Discretion is expected. Opportunity awaits. Okay. Signed, Lord Altharion Vale.
Well, I can be discreet.
I think we've been discreet so far. The meal might not have been the most discreet, actually, come to think of it.
I mean, middle table in the center of the place.
Spent a lot on the meal. That might not have been the most discreet.
Withers is just...
But yeah...
Eating it by hand.
Yeah,
least discreet old man Withers.
Dirty long nails, just like...
Pouring a glass of... What was the name of the wine? What was the wine called?
The wine was Eldara's Embrace.
Eldara's Embrace. Pouring myself a glass of the Eldara's Embrace and putting the bottle back in the centre. Just gesture towards there.
Hey, Franny, yo, don't be a stranger. Yeah, put some in there.
And he'll just take a moment just to pause to look at him and then say, just get the bottle and just tip it to the
come on.
direction. Just...
Don't be stingy. Come on. Old man needs his juice.
Go on, Erdan. Yep.
You mentioned that there was an eye peeking out from the curtain. Is that right?
Yes. Yep. So opposite. So you're looking at Danys, and behind over Danys's shoulder, there's what looks like a private area with every so often the curtain go and a little eye will pop out, just sort of having a little peer around who's about. And it's getting more frequent now that this eye has noticed Withers eating a pheasant with his bare hands and not cutlery with his pinky out, and downed a flaming brandy that cost an absolute fortune.
Okay. Would it be possible for me to go to the bathroom in this tavern and cast Find Familiar in the form of a spider to have it investigate behind this curtain for me?
Yes. Was it one of your cantrips?
No.
It's Eldritch Invocation.
Okay.
Yeah.
With
Okay.
I can cast it.
I know the brain of the operation's going to be the one that's going to give us the level.
Honestly, I prefer an imp because imps can go invisible. That's just me.
Ooh.
Yeah, because with that Eldritch Invocation, you get 3 more. 3 more than the usual.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
It's up to you. I mean,
Yeah, it is. It's quite a good choice.
so you're gonna.
Sorry, could you repeat that? It was quite buggy then.
Yeah, with that Eldritch Invocation, you can also get a pseudo dragon, an imp, and 1 more. Quasit.
Okay.
Wait, they might have changed that. That's what I checked.
Could I still just cast it as a spider because it's small and I can have
Yeah.
it just creep around?
Of course. Yeah.
Yeah.
So, I'll come back to that, Erdan, exactly in just a second. But as Francis and Withers, is anyone else having any wine, or are you sticking with your brandies?
When it'll take the bone, when it's probably holding a bone like a dog in his mouth at this rate, there's like chewing it around in his mouth, in his like long mouth. Just drop it and then just kind of like slide his tankard over to Francis for some of the wine.
I'm pouring for everybody apparently, so I'm just gonna start pouring. It is.
So is everybody having a glass or not?
I haven't touched a drink at all. So
You're not having any
Yeah.
drinks, okay?
It's not had any.
So luckily, a brandy is. So Danys, Joyce, very one quick one. Are you drinking the brandy?
You know what? Sure. I'll go for it.
Can you do a Constitution saving throw as well? For me, please.
Let's go for it.
You got this.
Oh God. Okay. So you rolled exactly the same as Withers. You drink it, and as you finish it, obviously you get that nice, warm, fuzzy feeling again with the spiced brandy. So you're absolutely fine. You feel a little bit, but nothing untoward. And Francis, Winid, and Withers, you had the wine. So as this was probably one of the most expensive wines in the area, as you all finish your wine, you feel almost a little bit an aura about you. It's like a warm, like a on the way to being drunk, but you're not exactly drunk. You feel almost the opposite to drunk. You feel a little bit more alive, I would say, a little bit more. And for the next hour, you 3 get, if you haven't already, Francis, you 3 get advantage on insight checks for the next hour.
It's one of the ones I don't have advantage on. So yeah.
Oh, well, there you go. So for the next hour, you get an insight check. Okay.
Sweet.
And then Erdan, you're off to the restroom, yeah? Correct?
Yes.
Okay.
Hey, kid, but before you leave, you gonna drink that, or can I have it?
I pick up my glass and just push it over in front of you to drink. I don't want it.
What's this, another brandy?
Yeah.
Okay, better do another Constitution
Okay.
saving throw. And I'm going to set it slightly higher because you've downed a wine and a brandy, so...
Absolute liability.
Oh,
That's
okay.
a check.
So, you are now pretty intoxicated, and you get disadvantage on dexterity checks for the next hour.
Amazing.
You know what I've always
I said it is
I've
16,
always said
16
this
now.
about cowboys and stupid dragonborns. And he just goes
Oh,
on.
no.
He's getting
Oh,
really,
no.
really loud and really un-PC at the table.
Okay, and this curtain twitcher is getting a little bit nervous now. As Erdan disappears to the restroom. Are you staying in the restroom, Erdan? Sorry? Or...
No, I'm just going in there to cast it without anyone knowing. I'm going to come back and sit down. And because I can telepathically communicate within 100 feet,
Okay,
I can just do that.
You're all the tavern's no more than 100 feet, so you can easily around the whole tavern.
Okay, yeah. So I just go open to cast and I come back to sit down.
Okay, and as you walk back, you sort of do a little neck click and a little sort of shoulder roll and sit down and rub your hands, and you obviously have the spider. Are you obviously you're controlling this spider and it's still in the rest room at the moment, correct?
Yes.
Okay. Would you like it to go anywhere in particular?
I would like it to creep behind the curtain that's behind Danys, with the eyes poking out frequently.
Okay. So, as it crawls, how big a spider is it we're talking? Just to know on the
Just a
perception of the
house spider kind of thing
Okay.
that you only really notice if you're looking for it.
A giant spider. Can you imagine?
Yeah, I was going to say
Oh,
it's
God.
like the size of a dog. No, it's so with a general, a normal house spider, you can sort of get through the nooks and crannies and round the tavern fairly comfortably without too much notice. And as you, as the spider, I guess you can see through its like 100 eyes or whatever they got, or
Yeah.
do you just telepathically communicate?
It can tell it telepathic communication, so it can tell me what it sees.
Okay, so you're not actually, okay. So as it scurries round the edge of the walls and round the edge of the step here and down the side, it gets to the curtain, and it sort of goes under other side. It sort of goes under the curtain, and as it comes underneath the curtain, you see two pairs of legs. What you see a desk. And you see 5 chairs. The one at the desk is one pair of feet sitting at it. You notice they're quite elegant-looking boots, a little bit pointy, black leather boots. And the other one is a bit more of a rugged-looking boot, and they're stood up next to the curtain. But you're sort of you're crawled under the desk a little bit, so you can only just make out all the feet. So there's 2 pairs of feet,
Okay.
one more rugged,
Is there
and one more elegant sat at the desk.
Is there a wall I can crawl up on to get a better look at who these people are?
Yes.
Okay,
So-
can I do that?
Yep. So as you go underneath the curtain, you fully underneath, and you come up to the other side. You manage to creep up round the wall, and you see what looks to be a rather large, not large, a half elf character sat at the desk, and it's a he with long grey flowing hair, a bit like you would see in some sort of shampoo advert. Very elegant hair. Piercing eyes, a bit of a chiseled jaw, and there's green coat with gold trim everywhere, all down, and a bit of a golden trim with dark green waistcoat, and nice patterns down the sleeves. Got a goblet on the table, green little cravat, white shirt. Sat there and just scribing at a bit of parchment, and then the other one is stood behind, stood at the back behind this gentleman, and this is a bit of a cunning looking character, also a half elf, and it's dressed in black hair. Black ponytail with the sort of strands of hair, a bit Witcher-esque, but jet black hair. Bit of a smirk, and you notice the eyes are the same as the eyes that were twitching at the curtain. Black leather with a bit of a roby black hood that's off his head, but draping down.
I can't remember if Erdan can hear me while he's in his familiar form, but I ask him if it looks like they'd had the King's Feast as well.
Is there any food on the desk?
No,
them?
There is no food around. There's just a brandy in the
Okay.
goblet that you. It's an ornate goblet, and there's parchment all over the table with a quill and an ink. And this gentleman, this rather noble-looking gentleman, is scribing at the.
Okay. So there's two things I'd like to do. Firstly, can I have my familiar see on the green coat of the elf at the desk? Is there any sort of insignia or emblem to be noted?
You'd have to get a little bit closer. Oh God, hang on.
Okay, could I crawl up on the ceiling? Because I'd also like to get a look at what they're writing.
Okay. As you crawl, can you make a stealth check as you crawl closer?
Check.
I know it's a house spider, but
Got you.
it's this gentleman's a bit.
That is 14.
Okay. The gentleman writing, the noble writing, doesn't notice. He's got his head down. The gentleman that was peeping through the curtains looks up, notices the spider, twigs this house spider, but doesn't really sort of think it's anything untoward. Just your standard spider. So as you look down, you can, if you roll a perception as well, just to get a look at what we're looking at here.
Okay. That is 11.
Oh, so you see no sigil. The arm is just a ornate, fancy-looking sort of fleur-de-lis type patterns on his sleeves. General cravat and a little brooch, but nothing that you recognise as anything that you'd be potentially looking for. What you do notice, and very conveniently do notice, that this gentleman's writing a letter, and you can't make out all the words, but you do make out that it's signed at the bottom, signed Lord Altharion Vale.
Okay. I would like to stop communicating with my familiar at this point, and I would like to, at the table, turn to my left and tell Francis what I have seen.
Okay.
Oh, Francis.
So I turn to him, and quietly, so no one else at the table can hear, but Francis, and I say, the man behind the curtain is signing a letter as the person we're looking for.
So, Francis will just nod, smile, and say, "A very useful skill indeed." Not a story, though. You still owe me a story. And with that, he will just turn to the others and say, "We found the gentleman that we're here to meet." And then just gesture just nod towards the curtain.
Well, what are we waiting for then? Let's go and let's go meet this guy. Go. And Withers
Francis,
goes to
I knew your senses were strong, but you're starting to smell through walls and curtains.
Francis will smile and say, "You and I have a particular set of talents. It seems that our new associates here have other talents, very useful ones. Let's leave it at that for now." And with that, he'll also go to stand to make towards the curtain.
Okay. Are all of you, just out of interest, are all of you entering, or?
I will get up and I will stand behind everyone. Not behind, but like sort of diagonally to the side, so I can be seen, but I'm not at the front.
Yeah, I'll certainly go.
Okay.
Yeah.
I don't know about the rest of Danys as well. Withers by the looks of it as well.
Hey,
I'm always
game.
I'm just gonna continue eating.
Withers is going to be sat. Just as he's got up, he sort of stumbled a bit, and he sort of sat on the steps just as she's come down. So he's like, "Oh, just
back here.
I'll be right back. I'll be right there."
As you guys are walking, I'll be a minute.
And Danys, are you staying put, or are you entering with Francis and Eldron?
Yeah, I'll head in the curtain.
Heading in?
Yep.
Right. Danys leave as well. You just like quickly take another bone and then just start like just running after them.
So, grab your last bit and enter. So as you enter, you get close enough, and as as you get close to the curtain, it infacts the hand of a half elf, pulls back the curtain, and as you enter, you see exactly what the spider was describing to Erdan. And you enter, and you see this Lord Artharion.
Withers is just going to
sat
stand sort
at the
of
desk.
just by the curtain. He's just going to lean against the wall.
Swifty. Yeah, I gotta say, your token art is freaking awesome, dude. These characters are awesome.
It's quite. I'm zoomed quite far out, so I didn't get to see him. But yeah, so you see Lord Altharion, sorry, sat at the desk. He doesn't look up straight away. And the gentleman that let you in sort of skulks back round, shuts the curtain again, looks out, checks who's about, and makes sure there's no other untoward looking people. Pulls the curtain and makes sure it's overlapping itself, and walks back round and stands behind. Oh god, I keep trying to move it.
As you walk through, Withers just goes, "Hey, is this where the party is?"
With that, oh go on.
No, you go on, carry on.
So with that, the Altharion looks up. Oh my goodness, I was not expecting this. Who have we got here then?
Trying my best to block out the drunken stupor that is to my side. I'm going to try and compose myself as best as I can, and just kind of glancing around just to kind of seek the approval of everyone else to kind of speak on our behalf. I will just basically say, I understand you are the gentleman responsible for our expeditious release earlier today. We are here to accept your invitation.
With that, he looks at obviously Falrail. He looks up. Falrail, are these the gentlemen that we were talking about earlier today? And he sort of just gives a nod. And he stands up, hands out. Welcome. Please have a seat. Fantastic. Thank you for making your way here. Sorry, that was me. I looked up the music.
Altharion's thinking about what music to play.
Okay.
Yeah, he's thinking what ambience and tune as you need.
Quickly, yes,
Anyway.
madam, play the harp.
Danys, play your lute. No, so he stands up. Welcome. Yeah, please have a seat. And as you all take your seat, obviously Francis and Erdan, I guess you're all taking a seat, and then Winid and Oldman Withers just propping himself up against the curtain, trying to look as noble as he possibly can in his dodgy looking gown and staff, holding himself up against the wall and staff. As the rest of you sit down, welcome. Yes, so thank you for coming. It's very much appreciated. And I have indeed, as you probably know, a opportunity for you. I mean, apologies for the ordeal that you had to go through earlier today. I'm not sure why you were in there. You do not have to tell me. It's okay. I do not hold any prerequisites for my potential employees. So welcome. Thank you. And do you have any questions before I make a proposition for you and the reason you are here?
I do.
Yes. And he looks at you.
I turn to Artharion and I ask, is it chance that it was us you freed, or did you pick us specifically?
It was a very high chance. I do not believe in chances totally, but it was a high chance that it was at least a few of you in the wagon. But yes, it's not totally by luck you are here, should I say?
I just nod and I go back to minding my own business.
Okay. So the five of you, it's obviously fantastic you're here. The proposition I have is, I have an issue where I need an acquisition of an artifact. This artifact is called the Hollow Heart. It is here in Hollow Tree. It's just not quite within my reach, and I cannot acquire it myself. So I need some fine gentlemen as yourselves to do the hard work. I will obviously compensate you for your tasks should you retrieve this relic. If you retrieve this relic discreetly, then the reward or the compensation will be far larger than anything acquiring it any other way. I will leave the acquisition up to you. You acquire it as you wish, but needless to say, discretion is advised.
Well, let's talk about Benjamins, we're talking figures. What numbers we talking here? You're just spouting nonsense at me. I need to know more about it before I go using my fine skills to do this dirty job for you, Sorry, I forgot to introduce myself. The name's Withers Dragonsbane. You might have heard of me.
Withers Dragonsbane. No,
Yeah, would I do an insight check? Would I have heard that name? Would I, or a history check or anything like that? I want to know if I've heard that.
Roll a. Yeah.
What do I need to roll?
Roll a history check.
I get advantage on that one as well. So it's either an 8.
Go
Come on, I need higher than that. 16.
DM.
Sorry, just checking the music because it went off in my ear. You would not have heard Withers Dragonsbane at all. No, not with that one.
I was surprised, this old man.
And Lord Altheron, apologies, yes. So, as you probably gathered, my name is Lord Altharion. I am a mere noble in this town, but one of the higher nobles associated with this town. And yes, of course, and he sort of looks at Withers a little bit repulsively, I guess is pretty strong, but along those tones, and says, "Yes, the old man has got a point. So if this relic is retrieved and handed to me, then you shall receive 5,000 gold pieces each."
Francis does his best to not give away a tell, like the poker tell of, oh my god, how much money? It's like, seems acceptable. Okay.
Francis, if you looked over at Winid, you would never see him ever grin this much, and he just slowly turns to you, Francis, and goes.
So, as Francis is doing his best to cover the tell, he turns and looks at Winid and just goes, like, that seems acceptable.
So go on.
I turn to Altharion again, and I ask, "That's quite the hefty sum of money. What's the catch of receiving this artifact? It must be quite risky for such a reward."
It's a very good question. Sorry, I didn't catch your name, young fellow.
Erdan.
Erdan. Yes, it's quite right, Erdan. The reason for the large sum of money of 5,000 gold, and he reiterates the fact that it's 5,000 gold pieces each, and checks to see if anyone's sort of taken a big gulp. Yes, the reason it's 5,000 gold pieces each is for total discretion. So that is unfortunately minimal questions asked. I can, however, tell you that the relic is held below what we think is below the Temple of Verdant Light. You've probably seen it if you've walked around town. It's at the bottom of town. It's at the opposite end of my mansion. So yes, it's held in the temple, in the lower chamber of the temple. I have tried to speak with the priestess, but she's very protective over this relic. But that's all I can say for now, and obviously minimal questions asked, maximum gold, maximum profit.
I got a couple of questions. What's to stop me selling this to my buddy down the docks,
And
It's obviously worth to you. It's obviously worth a lot of money. The other thing I got a question about is, what's it do? What you want it for? You gonna end the world? I know shady types like you.
Are you intimidating him or are you persuading him?
Whatever he's doing.
I'll do an intimidation.
Whatever he's doing, I'll assist.
Okay.
I'll assist.
So 2 intimidations or with advantage, however you wish.
Roll with advantage if you want to, but I'll lean forward to kind of press the point that I'd like that answered as well.
First one is 14.
Might be a crude
19.
old bugger.
Okay, well, that's not bad. So what you can say is, so of course, yes, my apologies. It is a mere relic, as I understand it, and as you can see, money is of interest to me. It's probably worth a lot. Just coming on to your other point about selling it at the docks. One, there is no docks here. You'd have to go a far way to reach any kind of docks. Secondly, as I alluded to your friend, and he points to Erdan, it wasn't merely by chance that you were released from a wagon holding you prisoner. So if you did attempt to flee with a relic, which of course you could try, then, and he sort of nods at Falrail, and Falrail nods back. I have, shall we say, many fingers in many pies.
Wow.
Damn, how many fingers you got?
Yeah.
Considering that everyone's caught up in conversation, can I have my spider, which is still on the ceiling, creep down
Yeah,
and get a
how about your
better look
spider?
at that letter? Can I get a better look at that letter he was writing?
Yes, and I would say probably with the conversation, none of the other two would notice a spider sort of weaving a little twine as he dangles down from the ceiling, just to try and get a better look. If you roll me a perception, I can't remember if I gave you advantage on a perception. What would insight, wasn't it? Oh no, you didn't drink anything, did you? You didn't drink anything.
No, I didn't drink anything, and that is an 8.
You don't make out too many words. All you see are how can I put it? Obviously, you see the signature at the bottom. You see Lord Altharion Vale, and you see the top some throughout the script. It's not too long. It's maybe a paragraph, but you see some mention of mines and cities and mines to the far west. A good few weeks' travel away, you would hazard a guess.
Okay. I'll keep that in mind for now. When we're out of the room, I will bring that up.
Okay.
Hey, Mr.
Okay. So.
Hey, Lordy.
Oh God.
You're avoiding my question. What's the relic do, and why is it worth so much money to you? You're talking 25 G's you're willing to bang out for this, you know?
We have buyers for this relic, and the relic to me is worth a considerable more than 25,000 gold.
But you're telling me it's not gonna end the world, you know? You're not gonna turn all me and my friends into slaves or nothing like that, you know? Summon the great god, or, you know?
No, I will not summon a god. I'm a mere noble. I'm a mere noble, and I wish to make money. That is my...
looks at you, goes, and he gets his old man finger out, he goes, I know types like you know? But, this turns out I'm strapped for cash, so, you know, fuck it. Yeah, let's do it.
Francis will turn to Winid and just suggest, my friend, I'm not sure how many monsters we're going to get to slay, but I'm willing to not slay this old man and spend a bit more time in his company for the sake of 5,000 gold. How about you?
With you saying that, you probably have noticed I was slowly raising my light crossbow out from my side. I'm just going to slowly lower it.
5,000 gold for each of us, or 5,000 gold in total, and we could divvy it up?
Each.
Oh no, discretion is 5,000 gold each.
Each, okay.
A scene may be considerably less. However, I would still compensate you.
We need to sober Withers up before we go anywhere near this.
Hey, now, see, this is what I'm saying, guys, you know? He's a swindler. I'm not so sure I like the cut of his jib.
I must say...
to bed, old man.
Oh, sorry, go on.
Old man.
I was just going to wonder, the Hollow Heart, could I recall any information about like that, or with the sage background?
You probably not. I mean, roll me a history check.
Oh no. Wait, it was the advantages was okay. Yeah, this.
The advantage was on insight, I think, wasn't it?
17.
Drink. Okay, so you know the Hollow Heart is been in and around Hollow Tree for centuries. It's not come from an outside source or been imported or anything. You know, it's been in the town or the Hollow Tree for, well, as long as anyone can remember, really. You do remember the reason for the town being called Hollow Tree is, in fact, the relic is within the trunk of a hollow tree. You didn't notice a hollow tree in your perception of walking through the town yet, but as Lord Altharion has suggested, it's kept, or what's the right word? It's held in the Temple of Verdant Light, which is the spire that you saw when you came in at the opposite end of town.
So, Lordy, I want to know particulars. I want to know how many guards they got. I want to know if they got were-dogs on the door. I want to know, they got laser beams slipping inside, you know? I need to know a little bit more.
He takes a little chuckle as he hears were-dogs and very confused with laser beams. But he says, no, in fact, you're quite correct. So the priestess who holds the relic, her name is Priestess Lyria. She is the temple's chaplain, should you say, or guardian, if you like. So she is the main person that is holding this relic. She has, in fact, employees of an elven nature. They call themselves the Emerald Sentinels. And these Emerald Sentinels are devout followers of Priestess Lyria. And they are quite a, shall we say, a feisty bunch.
Fausty.
Fausty looking at you. Yeah, he's
Fausty.
like, sorry, Withers.
I'll get on board them real fine, you know.
They are a feisty outfit. They can hold themselves. There's no doubt about that. But the Emerald Sentinels are devout followers of Priestess Lyria. I will tell you one particular that I did forget to mention. However, the chamber where the relic is held, you will need a particular key that I have been unable to locate. This is called the Forged Key, and we have been unable to locate it as of now. But I'm sure people of this town that have been here a long while would know some inkling of its whereabouts.
Forge key, Emerald Sentinels. Fuck shit up. Yeah, okay, we got it.
Well, I'm up to a page of notes already. This is awesome. Shit. All right. Okay.
What did? Okay, I'll keep.
I need a smaller notebook.
I'll message you after.
So, what's to stop us just going knocking on Priestess's door, banging her over the head? You know, sending these emerald doodads into the what's it land, and we steal this. What is it? What are we actually looking for?
It's a hollow heart. It's a relic of a stone size, maybe of a tankard sort of size.
Okay.
Standard tankard size. You'll find it has a carving of a rune vine in it. That's all I know of it at the moment. Like I said, nobody has actually seen it for centuries. It's been kept in the temple.
The key to gain access to the temple.
The key to gain access to the lower chamber of the temple, the forged key, is once forged many centuries ago. And to answer your other question, Withers, there is nothing stopping you banging anyone over the head, as you put it, killing all the sentinels, and correct. It will be considerably less, and you may or may not make it out, and I hope you make it out for all of our sakes.
Fine. God, let's get this show on the road. God, I want my 5Gs. I'm not getting any younger.
Francis, you're just going to slowly see Winid just start to raise the crossbow
I'm
again.
going to lower the crossbow again. As the crossbow goes again, I'm just going to lower the crossbow again.
Fantastic. So there is no time frame. Like I said, nobody's been able to actually touch it for centuries. So what's another couple of days going to hurt? By way of catching any sort of sleep, you're more than welcome to speak with Edric at the bar. He will put you up in the tavern should you need a room at all, and I will obviously cover any expenses on the room. If there's nothing else, then I have plenty of business that I need to attend to, and I will bid you good day. Or do you have any other questions?
Now I know that this Lord Altharion is fitting the bill. I'm going to ask him if I can be reimbursed for the cost of the food and the drink. So just on the subject of expenses paid, I'm just curious to know if you're going to foot the bill for food and drink in the time that we're here as well.
It depends how much, and he's more looking at Withers, how much you drink and eat. And maybe the bone sticking out of Winid's mouth still from chowing down on a bit of pheasant.
He's just going to quickly go, just bring it down just quickly.
hide the bone.
I'm immediately filled with regret.
But of course, any meals and drinks from here on in, I will of course reimburse from here. But should you need anything else, then do not hesitate to speak with Edric, and he shall contact myself, and I will make contact with you. Is there anything else you require from me? I'm sorry I can't be more open, but I don't know anything else other than what I've already told you.
Now I think we're going to have to speak to Edric next to find somebody who might know something about this key. Might be the next course of action.
Potentially. Edric has been here a long while. He's been a patron of this tavern for many years now. So he should know most people around town.
Okay.
Okay.
Question.
Okay, more questions. Fantastic.
Yeah, there's more
Love
questions.
Yeah.
If this Edric knows so much about the town, how come he hasn't gone and got the key, you know? It seems like a pointless task to ask him. Have you not questioned him?
I don't think he knows where the key is himself. There's not many people that do. It was more hearsay and rumours of where the key might be. So I'm sure someone around town will know. I don't know myself, and I don't think Edric does, but he may know a person that does.
I need a smoke.
We've tried. More than welcome to smoke in my office. I must bid you farewell. And he sort of stands up, rolls the parchment and the quill, puts the quill back, takes the parchments off the desk, and stands up and sort of little bow. Well, I wish you all the luck. And like I said, speak to Edric if you should require residence or a room for the evening. And good luck. And with that,
let him pass to get to leave.
And as he passes, him and Farrell sort of follows closely behind, and they disappear off out of the tavern.
I don't know about you guys, but this stinks.
No, it's just you.
I like it.
I'll just quickly say this, but I've only just noticed that my character's surname's been incorrect this entire time. Earlier we were talking about this, and I thought, oh yeah, that's weird. I'll correct that. No, it didn't go through. I think
it just needs the token to be put back in, and it's because the token probably has been on before.
Discuss amongst yourself.
It's I'll probably stand. In fact, I could probably do it myself. Francis will probably stand and just close those curtains and just have a little look. Can I just give a general glance around the immediate vicinity outside the booth as I'm closing those curtains, just to see if there's anybody standing within earshot? Please, DM.
Yes, so there's nobody in earshot. Where are you? You got two. Is that?
I have multiplied.
No, you got two. It's the same.
I don't
surname.
know what it is.
Yeah, don't worry about it.
Yep,
okay.
There we go.
Yes. So you just roll me a general perception.
General perception.
Guidance.
Ooh. So either an 8 or a 17. So 17 plus whatever guidance. Guidance just add 1d4 to it, is it?
Yeah.
Oh, go on.
So yeah, I'll add it just for the sake of whatchamacallit, but
even with
70, so 19.
Okay, 19's fine. So with the extra, what you see is as Lord Alfarion and Falril walk round to the tavern door, Alfarion just gives Edric a little nod. Edric sort of looks a bit nervous and gives him sort of a nervous nod back. You notice there's no one in earshot. So there's no one in the immediate tables around you. No one would have heard that conversation at all the entire time. What you do notice is the curtain directly opposite where the other noble got escorted out. You do see a bit of a what looks to be almost like a mini casino type affair. It's small, so the curtain's like half open with a small slit down it, and you notice a sort of a table with a couple of cards that fall on the floor and get picked up, and then someone quickly runs over and sort of shuts the curtains back again.
So as I'm taking that scene in. Sorry, go carry on, Tim. Sorry.
No. So the curtains shut. You opposite you, and as you close the curtains, you sort of have another look around. And nope, your remains of your food have been collected. Your glasses have been collected and taken back, and you are free to discuss whatever you wish to discuss without risk of being heard.
So as he takes that scene in and takes that information in, Francis will walk back around the table specifically to sit in the Lord's seat and sort of places his feet up on the table. But he will lean into Erdan on the way past and say, do you fancy stretching those 8 legs a little more the other side of the tavern?
I simply just nod and begin getting my familiar to go to the casino-esque area.
And then as Erdan does that, Francis will sit down at the table and say, do we want to make 5,000 gold?
We don't even need a key. Yeah, I got a few tricks in my sleeve.
I like that. I like the sound of that.
Hey, I can be the master of disguise if I want to be.
Oh God!
Of that I have no doubt.
I got this fun little spell called Knock.
Haha. So it's possible we don't even need the key, maybe. So Francis was just kind of looking around the room and obviously not really having much notion apart from Winid of what I'm starting to gain a bit of a notion of what people can do. Francis will just kind of try and gauge each of the individuals and just ask if we want to do this collectively as a group to make some money.
Okay.
As long as, my concern is the greater good, and my wallet. So, as long as we don't fit this guy's, I say we take it, we see what he's going to do with it, we try and find out some fuckery about this guy while we're here. 5 G's is a big lot of money, but, at the end of the day, I don't want him causing no harm to nobody else, Yeah,
Francis will contemplate that and say, I am inclined to agree with you. My order, while profit is a part of it, is interested in the betterment and the continuation of protecting the small folk. So I would also want to ensure that this is not going to be used to harm
I totally
the general
agree.
populace.
For once, I agree with the old man. If this guy turns out to be a huge asshole, then we split.
Yeah, what Lizard Lips said.
I agree with Winid.
When it's teeth that are currently just great, like, thank you, Dragon King.
I'm assuming while we're having this conversation, Erdan's eyes have rolled back to like white as he's controlling his familiar on the ceiling. So I'm just waiting to see if he has nothing to say on that.
Are you scurrying across the way, Erdan, or are you partaking?
Yeah, I'm making my way over with the spider.
Okay. So yeah, as the spider that was once reading the parchment just drops straight in front of Francis and Withers and Erdan onto the desk, you sort of give it a little bit of bloody hell, and then it scurries down the leg, out the curtain, and across the way. Again, fairly small house spider's not going to be seen, so you sort of scurry under the stage, along the back and in underneath the other curtain. And what you're greeted with is how many are we talking now? Oh God, get rid of that. You are greeted with 4 pairs of feet of what look varying degrees of nobility. And they are all sat at a table. 3 nobles. One was thrown out, wasn't it? So 3 sets of feet, all sat at a table, and they are playing a card game. And there's a rather large pot of money and some trinkets in the middle. That's all you see for now.
Hey, Erdan, what does old Incy Wincy say?
Before I answer, is there anything to note about these trinkets in the pot, or just nothing at all?
You can't see from where you are. Even climbing sort of up and around the walls, you can't get too close to see. But you notice there's some various different, like, shiny things, shall we say, for now. And there's a fair wad of coin also piled up in the middle. There's obviously 3 sets of cards on the table. And 3 nobles sat at the table playing this card game.
Okay. I'd like to stop communicating with the spider and turn to the party and say, not much to report, but could be worth a snoop if we're down for it.
I mean, I got no money, but if Franny's putting some money up, then I'm up for a bit of gambling. Or do we want? Or do we want to hit the town and try and get some clues?
Francis will nod and say, "I'm more pleased to know that this is not some local gang that is about to burst out and start causing some trouble."
Good luck to them.
I would suggest we, if everybody's in agreement, begin searching for this key.
I agree.
Yeah, I agree.
Man, we don't need it.
Oh, so yeah, actually, sorry, reminding that Danys has explained that. Please, my Dragonborn friend, please elaborate.
Yes. Yeah. So, I say, well, I got my fun little spells that Wizards doesn't like, apparently. Even though he's kind of a hypocrite, he used guidance.
I don't use spells.
Yeah.
You know, I got a few spells. You know, I learned a little bit over time, but you know, it's just a little bit of light and a little tricks. Part of tricks is all I got. You know.
I'm a hypocrite.
So much for saying you don't mess with that stuff.
Well, you know, I might have been holding back a little bit on you boys. You know.
Say,
okay, but yeah.
slide that staff over the table real quick. Winid's gonna like clamber up onto the table and just pull it closer to himself. And could I do an Arcana check on the ruins?
Yep, go for it. On Withers' staff.
Motherfucker!
What does he say?
Oh, you lucky old man!
Ooh, you could cast guidance on him.
See, I told you it's just a stick to some kids' card for me in the village. You know. He just takes he takes it back very quickly back.
I get a +7, and this is what I get.
That's mad.
You're lucky, you old codger.
He gets up. Withers gets up, just sort of does his robes up. You can notice his robes probably a little bit more intricate than you once thought they were. There's quite a lot of dirt on them, and there are some sort of patterns at the bottom. And he is a little bit, you know, it was probably once quite an ornate robe.
Are you heading out, or are you?
Hey, what do you want to do,
is
guys?
The party deciding.
Danys believes that we potentially can bypass the need for this key to access the lower chambers. So, with that in mind, Francis is kind of trying to formulate in his own mind the steps required to. And he kind of thinks for a moment. He says, "This is not my usual line of work," and looking around, it's kind of like taking each of you. There are certain professions that I have come into contact with that would be more suited for this kind of sneakery. However, given the money that is on the table for us potentially, I believe that we should do the best we can with what we have. Reconnaissance seems.
I mean, we already. Yeah, we got reconnaissance. We got the spider.
We have the spider. We do have the spider. Yes, we do. Yes, we do.
I mean, there's gotta be another way. There's gotta be another way into this temple, you know.
I mean,
Spider's not the only one that can crawl on walls. Let's just put it that way, you know.
I mean, if you
I
want,
see
God, I would love to see you crawl.
If I see you crawl on walls, I will have nightmares tonight. Withers go back.
Oh no! It's like the thing from the thing.
So
Yeah, something from the exorcism of Emily Rose or something.
all I'm
like
saying
that.
is we got options. You know, we can. It's gotta have a sewer system in this town, right? It's quite a big-ish town. We can investigate about that. Maybe we do look if we the back door. You know, or
With
you know, we send a spider
Of
through the
course.
front door. You know.
Of course. Why don't you crawl through the sewers and go get even stinkier?
Hey,
I mean,
wouldn't be the
Francis,
first time I shoveled myself through shit to get the job done. You know.
Francis, if you like, I can always bring Gaia out. And we can just make a hole in the wall.
We save Gaia for special occasions when the need requires. Given the requirement for subtlety, I somehow think Gaia will not be appropriate for this.
Who the fuck's Gaia?
particular-
Oh come on!
Oh,
you
we're trying to be
love
subtle?
Gaia. You when it takes off his backpack and starts just empties out about what looks like wooden carved limbs and metal brackets on them and everything. You're like, he's right here.
My associate Winid has a particular set of talents for chaos and
All it
destruction.
would take with just one little, and then he's twirling a rune carved stone in his hand. All it would
with
take.
subtlety in mind. With subtlety in mind, I think now would be a good time to bring up the mines that I read about with the spider.
Oh, there's mine. See, that's what I'm saying. There must be another way. You know, there's always another way. What did you see?
So he said,
Mine. I didn't get to see much. Only a mention of mines out to the west. It could be worth checking out. It might not be. We don't know until we try.
Hmm.
What you did see in the letter, sorry, is it's a good couple of months' travel to these mines.
Oh. Oh, okay.
So you're more than welcome
Never
to go,
mind.
but this may be longer than 3 sessions.
Okay,
Never
so
mind.
What
then.
you did notice now, just to put it into perspective, is you notice another word next to city, which was glacier.
"Oh, I just got chills." He's talking about the campaign stuff. I love it.
So you notice, obviously Francis may not notice, but I guess just for perspective on that, you notice Glacier City, mines, and Lord Altharion at the bottom. That was what you got out of the letter.
Okay.
So,
added that to my notes.
who are we gonna ask then? We gonna ask around town? Should I start questioning locals?
Bartender's always a good start.
Definitely.
I think we're dead end with the bartender, you know. But we don't need the key. We got Danys here with his little magic fingers, you know. That's what they call him, magic fingers.
Magic fingers, Danys.
I'm going to show you some magic fingers. Some.
So, where do we go, guys? You know, we're being. Let's go. Let's do something. Let's. I tell you what I gotta do. I'm out of pipe weed, so I'm gonna go to the apothecary, and
Apothecary.
I'm
Oh, you're gonna go poke the fairy?
I'm gonna go poke
Gotcha.
a fairy and get me some pipe weed.
Okay. So you heading out?
I'll follow the group.
What time of
We're
day is it as well?
It's getting a bit later now, so it's probably around 8 p.m.-ish, I would say, by the time you've eaten, you've drunk, you've chatted, you've discussed things with Lord Altharion. So there's a fair few hours have gone by. You've been spying with spiders. So there's quite a lot, maybe 7 p.m.-ish. It's getting quite dark. You know, you're in the north, so it's fairly dark outside. There is still, if you're heading outside, or sorry, I guess just to get a bit of perspective on what you're doing.
in the interest of keeping the group together, I'll follow wherever the group is heading.
Yeah.
Certainly.
I mean,
Does anyone? I guess
I'm going
I'll
to
put it the other way.
apothecary, but you know.
Does anyone want to stay behind, or are you all heading out?
I'm interested in that spire that we saw when we first entered the town.
Okay.
Just for the sake of potential knowledge and arcane secrets.
Actually, we could also go check out the
first-
guard rotations at night for the place.
We could indeed, yeah.
We definitely need to do a little bit of R&R, you know? Just see what we can find.
With that,
Agreed.
as you're sort of discussing, you hear from behind the curtain. Hello. Sorry to bother you. Is everything all right? And Eric sort of pokes his head in. Can I help any of you with any more drinks or food? Lord Altharion did mention that it was all up to him on his tab from now on. Or is there anything else I can help you with? Or I can leave you to it. It's not of an issue.
Francis will say, while Lord Altharion did indeed tell us that he would foot the bill, I would at this point like to request a large jug of some kind of clean water, drinking water, for this gentleman across the way, please. Just gesture to the witness. Say,
Of
the
course,
cleanest
of course.
water that you can find
Hey,
for this gentleman.
I'm perfectly fine. I don't know what your problem is. I fought demons with better, with less constitution with this. You know what I'm saying?
And I have the
of
bar
course.
soap.
Sure.
One for drinking, one for washing.
Do you want to?
And
We
a
have
bottle of wine.
we have out the back a bucket that you're more than welcome to wash up in. But
guys,
of course,
guys, shall
I'll bring
we-
a jug.
Sorry. Is it worth waiting till morning now? You know, it's 7 o'clock. We could just have a couple of beers. We could chill out. We could chat to some locals and go to sleep. Wake up in the morning, fresh as a daisy. I could wash myself. You know.
Of course. So Lord Altharion did mention he was going to foot the bill for any rooms that you may need. You're more than welcome to stay. I can set you up in a couple of rooms upstairs, or 5 rooms, however you wish. Just let me know, and I'll get that sorted for you. But if there's
Edric, I don't suppose you know if the apothecary is open, do you?
yes, Willow's Wares. Yes, it would definitely be open now. She's quite a hard worker, and
Okay.
Willow Greaves. Yes, she's open many hours. I doubt she even sleeps, if I'm honest.
Okay. So
Okay.
what
And
you
not
wanna
be
do
good
then,
for you.
guys?
That can't be good for you.
She may sleep at the till or at the. But yeah, if there's, I mean, you can head. It's just down the way. I mean, straight out the tavern, across the square, and you can't miss it. Big sign, Willow's Wares.
Edric.
Yes.
This boss of yours. Oh, Falio
And he's sort of, as you say, boss. He's like, well, boss in not so a truer sense of the word, but yes,
What you know about him?
Lord Altharion.
He a good guy,
I mean-
bad guy? Does he drown kittens for a living? What's he do?
No, I can definitely say he doesn't drown kids. That would be not good for our our viewers right now.
Kittens,
no,
I said kittens, man.
Oh, kittens. No, nor kittens. No, doesn't drown anything. No, he's a mysterious fellow for sure. But he is, I would say, trying to do good, maybe for the town. He's only got the town's interests really at heart. I mean,
Insight
you have-
check.
I was
With
going to
advantage,
say
I would-
insight check. I was going to insight check. Okay, do it.
Go on then.
Yes. Okay,
Should we both do it?
and I get advantage. Yeah, might as well.
Right. Who's got advantage on that because of
we-
the
I got
wine?
advantage.
You-
I drank the wine, yeah.
You had the wine
16,
from in-
16.
16's okay. You
Hey,
definitely know he's. Yeah. With a 16, you know he's hiding something. You don't know what as yet. But you definitely know he looks a bit not on edge. Well, slightly on edge when he's talking about Lord Altharion. But yes, he's certainly tries his best, and obviously his wealth brings somewhat security to the town because the town's guard, whilst they're called a guard, I wouldn't necessarily suggest they are much of a force, if I'm honest. But the Veiled Blades are what keeps most of the town fairly safe, I would say.
So the Veiled Blades and the Town's Guard are two separate entities. There's the Town's Guard and there's the Veiled Blades. Okay.
Yes, indeed. Yes. So the Veiled Blades work directly for Lord Altharion, and the Town's Guard are a mere magistrate guards that they basically keep the peace, or try to keep the peace, as a somewhat visual presence. The Veiled Blades are not so visual. Yes, the guards basically stay in the Warden's Keep. I mean, you have Captain Dane Harrow, who heads up the Warden's Keep, and he's been here many years, but again, he's just a drunken old fool, really. But he's the one who... Say again, sorry?
We got one of those drunken old fools.
Right. Yeah. Yes. Not quite as drunk and not quite as old, but a fool as also. But yes, he mainly stays in the Warden's Keep, which is just behind the Temple of Verdant Light, which you probably saw on the way down. But yes, yeah. He's
So
not
Dane Harrow is with the Guard or with the Veiled Blades?
the guard. He's just the town's guard. He's like he's basically the warden of the jail.
Okay.
The Warden's Keep. Captain Dane.
Okay.
So,
Roger
yeah,
that.
Edric, I think we're going to take you up on some rooms here. You know, if you can give us the keys, that'd be fantastic. And then maybe we just come back later and sell us ourselves in.
Okay, I'll get the room set up. Feel free to head out. As I said, Willow's Wares is across the way. But yeah, I will make your rooms up for when you're ready to come back. And unless there's anything, he will shoot back off.
Okay, guys.
And upstairs to the bar, to the rooms.
I kind of want to find out a bit more about this Mr. Vale guy, this Lord Vale. Who do you think the best person to speak to is?
Well, definitely not that Edric, because I sense he is either intimidated by him or on his payroll. I can't quite put my finger on what exactly it is he's hiding, but he's clearly hiding something.
Okay, I got an idea, and I'm gonna cast level 2. Level 2 Alter Self.
Alt. Okay.
And I'm gonna make myself look like Lord Vale.
Fuck.
So
You can do that. Okay.
all of a sudden, it just
Not what your spells are you?
conjured a spell, and Withers' form just fully changes into Lord Vale.
That's a neat trick.
Gentlemen, how are we doing?
It's a very neat trick.
So I have an idea. How about I go and question Edric? Shall I ask him? What could I ask him that you think might persuade him into telling us what we're expecting to hear from him? What could I ask?
It's
You could ask him how his guests are.
Absolutely.
If they bought how he sold the contract. I don't know.
That's a good one. I like that. I like that a lot.
You're kind of dipping in and out of Withers and Lord Oberon accent. As a man, I love it.
Shall I ask him about how the plans are going for the use of
Something
the
like that.
Hollow Heart?
It needs to be something vague enough that he would give information regardless of what it happens to be. It can't be too specific, if that's what you want to do.
Okay, I'll do that.
It's full of guys and cunning. I like it.
So I'm gonna head out to do that and leave you guys to do what you guys want to do.
Okay.
Okay.
So as you're heading out to speak to hang on, let me get the map. As you're heading out, Edric sort of ushers the two other commoners that are drinking at the table. They sort of notice what looks to be Lord Altharion, and they sort of scurry out the way. And Edric's at the table. Sorry, Lord Altharion. I thought you'd left for the evening.
Edric,
apologies. Very well, Lord. Very well. Yes.
How is business
You
this
did
evening?
say. Very good. Very good. We have put the rooms up for the your 5 new friends, shall we say?
Good.
And yes, all is well.
Be sure to make sure their food and drink are on my tab as well.
Of course, yes, of course, yeah.
Excellent.
It is all sorted now. The rooms are on your tab. Not that you have to pay it, of course.
Well, let's just make sure it goes at my expense.
Okay, of course.
How'd you read them?
Read them, sir?
The guests. Do you think they bought into our plan?
I think so. I think they're on board by the sounds of it. I mean, I only heard a small amount as I tried to earwig, but I'm not the earwigging type, obviously, sir. But yes, I think they might be useful in your acquisition of said subject H relic. Trying to talk in code while no one's listening.
Excellent. And all our plans coming together, as we discussed?
Plans, sir?
Regarding the Hollow Heart.
Oh, well, I'm not sure I was part of any plans,
God's
but
sake, man, we had this discussion the other day.
sorry, sir, I must have forgot. Yes, of course, discussion. And he's like looking down at his feet, like all nervous. And I've had, I must say, I've had a couple of brandies this evening,
Pathetic.
just to
Pathetic,
quench the
man.
nerves. But if there's any plans you would need me for, just
Be sure
please.
to treat my guests well, and I don't want to see you drunk on duty again. He walks off.
Apologies, sir. Yeah, apologies. What you clearly tried to gather from that interaction is he's definitely on Lord Altharion's payroll, but he's not part of any wider topic.
Conspiracy.
Yeah.
That's funny.
Withers is going
The
to
theory board continues.
walk back around this sort of corner and then just sort of
And as you Withers or Altharion walks off, sir, would you like to take your normal route to your manor, or are you walking the streets?
How
How long does this spell last, by the way?
an hour.
Okay, you've got an hour. Okay, good. Just to take note.
I tell you what, inform my guard not to man the streets tonight. I want to give them a night off. Make sure that my normal route is unmanned. I don't need the guard.
Well,
I've got this team
so
of clues around.
I'm sure Fauril Voss is obviously your
Absolutely.
veiled blade leader. He will obviously direct you. But are you taking the streets to show a face, or are you taking your normal route back to your manor?
I'm unsure yet. It's no concern of yours. I'm going to go in.
I do apologise. Correct. I will make sure the door is closed. And he
Thank
walks
you.
behind him and just shuts the back room door.
I want to just log that, or
Good evening, sir, and thank you again.
excellent. And I'm going to go back. I'm going to go back to the team, but I'm going to go. I tell you what. I'm going to walk out the front door.
Okay.
Because I
And
can't- I can't
the
decide
guy at
change.
and the guy at the front desk kind of just nods and sort of bows as you walk past.
Get back to work.
Oh, sorry.
Over to you guys.
So, Old Man Withers has left the building, as Lord Altharion, into the streets. There's not, just to set the scene for, there's not too many people out in the streets now. It's fairly quiet. There is a side alley. It's dark, but there is a glow from the tavern. And then back to you guys, if you're pursuing or not.
So I guess we'd be keeping an eye on and watched him go to the bar and then head on outside. The question is, if he's heading towards the apothecary, are we going to catch him up outside and then find out what happened with that? Then I would assume.
Withers isn't there.
Assume that's.
It's up to you four. What would you like to hang or investigate the tavern a bit, or are you heading out, or you can hit the sack?
Personally, I'll
Or do what you want.
I'll go with Withers. I'll go to
Okay.
catch up with Withers to keep the group together.
So Francis stands up and goes to sort of walk out the curtains.
Winid will follow suit. Obviously gathering up Gaia and quickly just like swiping it into the pack.
Yep. Okay. Danys,
You should
Erdan,
follow
are
it.
you?
Should follow.
I want to retreat into the room that has been prepared for me.
Okay. You going upstairs?
Yes.
Okay. Okay. And Danys?
I would like to ask. Hold on, just 1 second. I'd like to ask Edric for permission to perform.
Oh, everyone's gone.
No.
Dragonkin.
So there's a fair few patrons still left. And Erdan, are you staying downstairs for this, or are you retreating?
No, I'll be going upstairs.
Okay, so you disappear up the stairs, and Winid is outside. Okay, as you approach Edric, good evening. Sorry, I forget, and you can see he's slightly nervous from his encounter with Altharion. You're one of the five group of five. How may I help?
Yes, you don't have to act so tense, but I would like to ask if I could perform in here.
Oh, perform. Yes. I mean, we get some performers come through, and of course, we haven't had one booked for tonight. We're usually a lot busier than this, but yes, by all means, feel free. The stage is yours. I think there's some equipment left, some instruments left up there, and there's obviously our piano. So fill your boots. And he takes a little swig of
Don't worry.
brandy and slides it back under the table, under the bar.
Don't worry, I brought my own.
So you're heading over.
Yep.
So as you walk down, you sort of brush past some patrons. It's sort of like a third full, I would say, and you're up onto the stage. And there's people are sort of slightly to take note. They're not sure if you're a performer yet, or they're not sure if you're a like a roadie that's come to collect some of the equipment, and they're sort of giving you a bit of an eye and a bit of a look, and not sure. But yeah, the stage is yours.
So first, I want to cast Dancing Lights to get more light on myself.
Okay.
More of a...
Nice.
So
Yeah.
as you cast these dancing lights, I guess they're sort of acting a bit like spotlights, stage lights that are multiple colours, and you get some greens and blues and reds and oranges that are sort of like a disco ball almost, that are either side of your head, and and these folk are taking a little bit more of an interest, and a few of them sort of turn around in their chair now, as if to sort of look and think, "Oh, didn't realise we had an act book." They're sort of like looking at each other, thinking like a bit confused at the moment. A couple pulled a few more chairs up. Sorry, go on.
Yeah, just pull out my trumpet, and and then I'll get nothing else.
As you pull out is the trumpet on you? You whip it out from your rucksack, and everyone's sort of intrigued now. So they've spun their chairs around and they've sort of on the edge of their seat a little bit, waiting for this. The lights are going, and they're thinking, "Here we go." Then they've got their brandies and wines, and they're all full, and they're ready for a bit of a show. And then if you roll a performance check, or roll for performance, and they're all excited, looking for their friends, and it hits them with, oh, okay,
damn.
So it's not bad. I mean, as you'll start playing and the lights are going, but the song's not quite matching the lights, so the lights are sort of slightly out of time from the trumpet, and it's like you've been locked up in a prison wagon for some time, that you're sort of finding your feet a little bit, but you play nonetheless, and quite a good tune comes out, and the lights are getting in tune a little bit now with what's going on, and the people are getting into it a little bit. And how long is this performance lasting? Are you is it a couple of minutes, or are you going for an all-nighter?
All-nighter.
You're going for okay. So if you just roll another performance check to see how the performance is going.
Let's go.
Come on.
High number.
Nice.
Christ. So
knock the rust off.
Started off a bit ropey, but as you're getting into it, you're finding your feet now. It's like you've become one with the trumpet a little bit now, and you've even got one hand. So you're doing one hand on the trumpet, one hand up in the air. And there's a few of the folk around the stage now are sort of up on their feet, and they're dancing with each other. They're doing like a little jig almost, like the pirate sort of loop the arms and swing around do-si-do sort of style. They're getting right into it. So you're blasting your trumpet out, bit of jazz coming out up on stage. So that's going down well. Erdan, as you disappear upstairs, you hear the bit of the ropey sort of out of tune, but then downstairs, as you settle into your room, you do hear downstairs a bit more of a melodic tune. So we'll leave you there a minute, and we'll skip out to the three that have headed outside. So you guys are outside. I don't know. Are you staying as Altharion?
No. As they walk outside, they just see Old Man Withers smoking his pipe against the post outside the door.
You see the look on his face. I made him shit himself. He's gonna give us free food for weeks.
Francis will smile and say it's a very useful tool indeed. Were you able to learn anything of value utilizing it?
He sort of looks around, trying to be a bit quiet.
Edric is on the payroll of the boss. He might make out like this is his establishment, but he definitely is under his influence. There's also another door at the back that goes straight to the manor. So I don't know if we want to do a bit of sneaky later on, and go down that. Might need to pick it. I don't know. I just saw he pointed in the direction. I had to make my excuses. I only had an hour with that face on, But I did ask that the security was cut down slightly down there because, I got his little buddy with him all day. So, hopefully might pay us out if we decide to go that way. But apart from that, I tried to scare him and intimidate him. We got free food anyway as well. So, I got as much as I could get out of the man. He was a little bit timid.
You did well.
Hey, it's not my first rodeo,
Francis will turn to Winid. do you think?
Well, finding that secret door is definitely going to be a bonus in case he tries anything. As for this militia, I'm not sure. We could always see how they treat the town. Have a wee investigation.
In my experience, private militaries are concerning, so I'd also be interested to see. But I suppose we should pursue our main purpose alongside doing reconnaissance of that nature. Perhaps see if we can scope out this location where the item is, where the relic is potentially being held.
Sounds good to me. I mean, I gotta get me some weed from the shop. How about we just ask the old lady, see if she's got any information for us, and we can call it a night and see where we go tomorrow. Maybe sneak out at night, when it gets a bit darker around here.
It's worth pursuing the lead. Certainly, we've got a little bit of time while it's at least a bit of time there to speak to one person in the town. We might even learn a little bit about this lord's local militia as well. His hired soldiers.
Yeah.
Why not?
I mean, the sun's gone down now, so it's might be worth us just poking around a little bit,
I mean,
Agreed.
I could head over to the spire just now, just to get a start on the reading the guards' times. And you two could go to the apothecary.
I don't. Francis will turn to Winid and say, until we've got the measure of the place, I wouldn't suggest any of us split up too much. If something happens to you and we're not there, you're on your own.
Oh, I have no intention of going inside. Not at all. I don't have a death wish. I just wish just standing outside watching.
It's up to you, but I would. And he turns to Withers and say, I don't know what Withers thinks, but I would personally feel more comfortable if we did these things together, and just in case something was to come across any of us, at least we've got the numbers.
Well,
don't know.
Sometimes the greatest offense is the best defense, splitting us up might just make us weak.
So we've got
Understood.
the measure of the place and what we're dealing with. It might make more sense to do these things together.
Understood then. Heck, who knows? I might buy myself a pipe at the apothecary.
Hey, good stuff. It's good stuff.
I'm actually going to check.
As long as it smells better than whatever you're smoking just now.
This old weed.
I'm actually going to tap myself down for a pipe and see if I've got one, because if not, I'm buying one as well.
So we head to the Willow's. What's it? So what it was called? What's it called?
Willow's Wares, I think it was called.
You muted Swifty.
Sorry, I was chatting with the wife. Came home. Yeah. So as you head over, so Willow's Wares is almost directly across the market square. And you head up to what looks like a general sort of store. Nothing special about the outside, I would say. As you enter, sort of a small shop, and you can see what looks to be a bench that goes in a bit of a U shape, around you, and behind that bench or behind that counter is lots of shelves with various bottles, various jars with sort of corks in, and all sort of labels, and there's like thousands of them. There's parchment rolled up and tucked in the side. There's sort of trinkets hanging off the side. You see sort of packs, like a rucksack hang up over the side. You see some small implements tucked in like a glass case on one of the desks. They look to be sort of small, ornate, like dagger. You see some what looks to be some lockpick-looking things. You see some cloaks hanging up behind. So it's sort of a bit of a general store kind of a vibe going on. But you hear some clattering and sort of banging round the back through one of the archways. And as you are sort of accustomizing yourself or acclimatizing yourself with this shop, there is a lady walks out, and she's a small half elf, but what you were expecting, Willow's Wares, and someone that would have been in this town for many years. It's almost like she's in her mid-30s, so very beautiful looking, not old at all. She's got sort of brownish auburn hair, bit of a messy top knot with some the wavy bits coming down over the side of her eyes, nice green sort of piercy eyes, and a bit of a smirk on her. And she comes out.
What species did you say she was? Sorry.
Half elf again. Sorry, yeah, half elf. Yeah, so quite a tall, slender looking, youngish, mid-30s woman, half elf woman. Comes out and she's got a dark greeny kind of long dress on with like a leatherish kind of aprony type waistcoat looking thing over the top. And she's got some bits hanging off of her side, like little trinkets and things like that.
Hello there, miss. How are we doing?
Oh, hello. How may I help you? And she's looking at young Withers. And
I'm Withers. Nice to meet you. Some people call me Withers Dragonborn. Other people just call me Old Man Withers. These are my associates, Franny and Winid.
Oh, Winid and Franny, and Withers Dragonborn. And
rolls his eyes at the mention of Franny.
Well, welcome. My name's Willow Greaves, and yes, this is my establishment. How may I help you?
I'm after some of your finest A-grade pipeweed. I'm not talking the little schmuck, the stuff you get down at the little tavern and stuff. I don't want that stuff. I want the good stuff. You know, the stuff that makes you cough. The stuff that's the real grundy. Gives you the headache the next day. You know, that's the stuff I want.
Oh, yes, of course. I will need some time to find my more acquired taste of items, but yes, give me 2 minutes, and she disappears out the back again. Some glass bottle kind of drinking, and she comes out with a little pouch. It's probably a tobacco sort of Virginia gold looking size pouch in a leather, and she sort of looks over your shoulder out the window as if to say, you know, no one else is kind of around, and she sort of slides it over and she goes, this is the finest tobacco wink in the recent region, so
okay.
Take good care of it and I hope you enjoy.
How much do I owe you for that?
Well, I don't normally sell it to every customer that comes traipsing in, but for you, and you look like you look like you need it. It's going to have to be 15 gold
15
pieces.
gold. That's okay. I got that. I tell you what. You sell pipes?
Oh, we do. Yes, we do sell pipes indeed.
How much is a pipe? Just a basic one, just for learners like little baby lungs behind me.
Basic pipe, 5 gold.
I'd take 2 of those as well, please.
Okay, no problem.
I can't believe we've been in town less than 24 hours and he's scored a dealer already.
I tell you what, you do a special deal for that for me, sweet cheeks?
That is 25 gold. I mean, you have the finest tobacco.
You take 20 gold for that, for an old man, you know. Old ex-warrior of Falanor, you know, I saved the world several times.
Well, I do not recall your name
I'm an old man.
around these parts.
You're a young lady.
Try and go for a persuasion, and it's got to be pretty high because it's pretty good stuff that she's selling.
This is the good. This is the good Grundy.
This is the good shit.
Good pipe weed.
God.
What am I doing? Persuasion.
Yeah.
The one I've got nothing plussed on. Come on, that 20. 17.
Oh, not bad. Okay. Well, seeing as you look like you need all the help you can get, I will have to sell it for 22 gold.
You're still from an old man, but okay, no problem at all. I'll
And he pulls out this, which is nicely sized pouch of gold, and he's just like, 1, 2, 3, and he counts out
Jesus.
22.
She's like, oh fuck. Thank you, kind sir.
And he hands a pipe to each of the lads and just a little bit of baccy.
Oh, much appreciated. He'll give Francis give him a wink and pop that into his backpack.
Same here.
Well, not wise to share it with a first timer, the tobacco you've just purchased, but go steady. And for you two, can I be of assistance?
Preferably a small pouch of actual tobacco.
Of course. Beginner tobacco, we like to say, and just gets a small sort of leather pouch and hands it to you. 2 gold for that one.
2 gold. Winid will take out two pieces of gold and slide it across the table. Just
Okay.
do that for now.
I will wait until they've concluded their transactions, and I'll put myself next to her, facing her in the counter, close enough to try and read some of her reactions to what I'm about to ask her about. So, as Francis approaches, and as he comes close to her and basically starts to take in her stance and kind of how comfortable she's standing at the moment before he starts asking questions, looking for any telltale signs of information potentially being withheld or any nervousness or anything that comes from what he's about to say. His Francis obviously has his red eyes as well, his blood hunter eyes, which kind of are fixated on her, not to the point of intimidation or anything, but just very focused on her. I am more interested in information, an exchange of information, and with that he pushes 5 gold pieces across the counter and places them onto her side. We are, for the moment at least, in the employ of the Lord of Hollow Tree, Altharian Vale.
Oh,
And with that, I want
yes.
to just judge her face and how it changes, perhaps, or
if you roll a general perception.
okay. So bear with me. It'll either be a 13 or it will be a. So it's going to be a 13.
Okay, well, 13's not too bad. So you see a slight grimace when you mention Lord Altharion. Not a big smile, more of a bit of an eye roll kind of face. Eye roll kind of
grimace.
characteristic. Yeah.
Okay. He initially just at the mention he's looking for just any tell or any kind of sign, but then he'll continue on to say when she rolls her eyes, doesn't she?
It's like more of a grimacey kind of like sigh. Yeah, like a bit of a like a.
Okay.
Yeah.
So he will inquire and say, we haven't had the pleasure of interacting or meeting with them yet, but is there anything that you would you think we should be aware of before we go to interact with them?
Oh, and she looks down at the gold on the counter, looks up, sort of around, and says, "Yes, Lord Altharion is an acquired taste, shall we say? Whilst and I speak this with only in these 4 walls, but he intends or looks like he has the town's interests at heart, and whilst he is the main source of financial income and protection, I suppose, he has got many fingers in many pies that's very secretive, that even I don't know about, and I'm probably the oldest townsfolk or longest serving townsfolk around, really. And the Veiled Blades are not to be crossed, I would say.
You recall a time before Lord Altharion and the Veiled Blades resided over the town?
There was his father and his father's father, so it's the Vale dynasty that have been in this town for many, many years, if not centuries, and they've continued to, I wouldn't say rule the town, but they show that they try to show that they care, but in fact it's just greed, and in fact there is talk of Lord Altharion through various sources I've heard that Lord Altharion is after a particular relic in this town, and some say it's not just for financial gain.
Yes, we've heard words to that effect as well. My final question for you, and I will push another 5 gold across.
Oh, you sort of like cough and splutter a little bit.
What, if anything, can you tell us about the Emerald Sentinels?
Emerald Sentinels. Now, they are a tricky outfit. They mainly consists of elves, and they are devout to priestess Lyria, and they reside in the Temple of Verdant Light down at the end of town. Now, they claim to be the holiest of holy places in the town and protector of good, but we've heard rumours of other altercations that the Emerald Sentinels have a different agenda, but that's just hearsay.
Could you elaborate at all on what that agenda potentially is, from your experience of what you've heard?
Well, and she sort of looks down at the 10 gold now on the counter and sort of looks at you and there has been occasions where townsfolk have gone missing. We don't exactly know where, and we don't exactly know why. But some say, and again, just rumours, and she's sort of looking a bit nervous now and sort of looking over your shoulder again, making sure that nobody's sort of on the outside of the shop. Just rumours that it could be Lord Altharion, or it could be Priestess Lyria. And some say, and this is again just rumour, that Priestess Lyria has attended to people that tend to ask questions about the Hollow Heart relic.
I get your meaning entirely. Please rest assured that our interests in this matter stay within the confines of these 4 walls, and you have no reason to worry this conversation should go any further. And then with that, I'll just push that 10 all the way across the counter and say, please take that for your time and information.
Well, that's very kind of you. thank you. And she'll sort of scoop the 10 and put it in her pouch. And when she puts it in her pouch, she does sort of spill out a little notebook that falls on the floor. She doesn't realise, but she says, "Oh, why? Thank you. I do have some other items if you wish to purchase. But if not, then it's getting quite late, so I would bid you farewell."
Yeah, to be fair,
I see them.
I think we gotta get to bed soon. You know, I'm starting to get a bit tired. My joints are starting to ache.
When
Some of the tobacco will definitely help with the joints, I'm sure. Sorry.
How big is this place? How big is this place?
It's quite small. It is, in fact, quite a pokey little shop. It looks strangely bigger looking. The shelf of pots and bottles and potions and things like that look vast. It's almost like Harry Potter-esque when it's a huge wall of these potions, but the actual shop itself, like quite a contained. 4 of you are sort of shoulder to shoulder, really, in this horseshoe-shaped counter, and she's got full run of all behind the counter, you know, in a big semicircle kind of round it. The one wall is covered in these bottles and trinkets, and you see like a weird leaves in some of them. You see a glowy red kind of one bottle on the wall, and there's various others. Some just sort of clear liquids. And on the other wall is kind of more of a hardware store on the side. So you see like a bag hanging up and sort of a shovel on the side and a coat draped over the a long sort of raincoat drape looking thing over the end of the shelf.
So this is elaborate because I've just seen that notepad hit the floor at the same time that Withers has said we should really be getting to bed. So seeing the notepad there, I'm going to try something a little bit elaborate here. As I'm going to turn, I see Winid, try and get eye contact with Winid and just try and glance down at the notepad, but at the same time turn around to Withers and say, "And how drunk is Withers at the moment? Is he still pretty inebriated?"
I mean, you tell me, DM. Am I?
Oh no! So yeah, you've sort of started to sober up a bit. You're not too bad actually now. You're okay.
I'm gonna just try and gesture to Withers and just kind of like look like I'm pushing him. Say yes, come on, let's get you to bed. But I'm gonna try and push him a little bit harder while trying to keep it to see if I can knock him into something to cause a bit of chaos and confusion. Say, come on, let's get you to bed. I try, and at the same time glance to Winid and point down to the notepad. I just try and push Withers.
Okay,
a bit
so
hard.
you're trying to do a bit of a performance, I guess, or a bit of a maybe
strength.
a.
I mean, I'd like to push Withers with a bit of strength if I could.
Okay, do a strength check and see how far you push Withers, and then do a bit of a I guess a stealth check. Okay.
A 12 on this. Oh, I've done a save. Yeah, I did just a. Oh, yeah, that's what I did. Yes, strength. So 12 on that. Push Withers.
Okay, so you, go on.
How high up is the counter from me?
It's elf or normal height waist, so it's a standard counter. There is at the far end by the coat that's hanging on the side a bit of a bar flap.
So if it's about waist height for them, it'd probably be head
yeah.
for me.
Yeah. So she's looking down like as she's.
I'm like looking over, just like.
Yeah. So as you shove Withers, which direction are you heading towards? The bottles, or are you heading towards the wares?
I don't want
directly
to
in front.
It's gonna hurt, or something that looks really expensive. But I just want to shove him in. Come on, you old codger, let's get you off to bed and kind of push him. Let's go bottles.
So
push him.
So as you push him towards the bottles, he doesn't, because he's quite short as well. He sort of just bounces off the counter, and is I guess because you're quite. How tall's Withers? No,
5'9".
he's like. Oh, okay. So he's normal height then, I suppose.
He's normal height. Yeah.
All right. Okay. So yeah, you push him, and he sort of bounces, and his staff that he's holding, or stick that he's holding, flies across the top of the counter and knocks a few of the bottles off.
Hey, what you doing?
And she goes, "Oh my goodness!" And she rushes around. Are you okay? Are you okay?
Oh,
and
God, my hip.
With that, I'm gonna quickly just get around
So you're going underneath the bar thing?
If I'm able to go underneath and then quickly just grab it and then just stand back up and just have it behind my back.
So you're let's give me a what would it be? I guess a bit of an acrobatics kind of check to sprint round, an athletics check to sprint round.
Oh wait, am I crawling underneath the?
Oh no! If your counter height, as you run round the end, one of the ends where the wares is, so it's nearest the door, if you like. There's like a bar, like a bar.
Like a
bar.
I can just go right.
Yeah,
I can just go right underneath that.
So the point is, you'd be able to just with a small little duck go underneath, scurry round, past the sort of coat and the chest and the bag and things that are hanging up on the side.
Right.
So if you give me a bit of an acrobatics or athletics kind of check, just to see how fast you get round and.
Right, let's go with acrobatics.
Meanwhile, I'm trying to look like I'm steadying Withers, but also pushing him into bottles. Like,
so Willow's like, oh my goodness.
Okay, that's not right. That's okay.
So you scurry round.
At 11.
And let me roll. What has she got? I'm trying to see if she's got passive.
Drunk and old fool. Steady yourself. This is a nice establishment.
She's helping
Hey, what are you
Withers
pushing me
and
so hard for God's
Francis.
sake?
And as you run round, you knock one of the items off, like the bag off of the shelf, and you do manage to grab the book, the little notepad.
Can I quickly cast my Artificer's Tinkering? I can't remember the exact name. A second, where is it?
Okay, so what's this doing?
This is
And I guess, is it thematic and what's the
really
word? Verbal?
Really not. It's not verbal. I can just touch it, but this is really not the time for me to have to search through everything. This is the one time I hate the Artificer. Magical Tinkering.
Okay.
View a tiny non-magical object with a magical property of your choice, 5-foot radius, light, up to 6 feet. So I get the options of a static visual effect appears on one of the object's surfaces. This effect can be picture, up to 25 words of text, lines of shapes, or a mixture of these elements as you like. I would like to change it to a picture of Francis. just a straight up picture of Francis. Just like a drawing, a wee sketch. Of him, like, playing a monster.
So like a really elaborate, like you're really idolizing Francis in this depiction of him.
Yeah, we're going with that. We're going with that.
Okay. So, and do you cast it? Is it what is it? A cantrip or a spell or a?
It's an action I can take as an artificer. Okay. It's so one of 5 uses.
Yeah. So as Willow's helping Withers and Francis, they're kind of helping him up, and she's picking up some of the bottles. As you run round, you kind of bounce off the side of as you're hurrying, you sort of take a little slip, and you hit the side of the shelving rack, and the bag falls off, and she sort of stands up and says, and you pick up the notepad, and it obviously turns into this grand depiction of Francis that you've looks like you've sort of kept to yourself, that you stare at night. Maybe
I'll just quickly hold it above. I'll quickly hold it. Like, she'll just see the arm come up above the counter and go, "Sorry, drop this."
Can I help you? You dropped you. What is this? And she sort of looks down as if to say,
just a memento of first time I saw Francis kill a monster.
Oh my goodness. Yes, well, that is a lovely depiction indeed. And she's like really confused as to why you've got this picture of Francis. So, well, if you don't mind, this is for customers that side, and unless you an employee, which I don't have any, would you mind staying the other side of the counter, please?
Of course.
And she's sort of ushering you round, and she looks down, picks up the bag, puts up the bag, and goes to lift up the counter, but realizes you can just go underneath, and sort of doesn't lift up the counter, and just puts it back down and lets you carry on.
With that, I'll just tap Withers on the back and just kind of like straighten out where he's been dishevelled, where I've been throwing him around, and say, "Come on, Thank
you okay? Are you okay?
Yeah, I'm okay.
is it
Yeah,
Winid?
just this bloody buffoon beside me. Absolutely
Okay,
ridiculous.
well-
What were you doing?
No harm done. No harm done, and it wasn't the expensive stuff. So, yeah, okay.
When you actually
Well, I've
hit,
got some.
when you hit Withers, you actually realise that his back was quite muscly. He's not as scrawny. He's actually quite
He's
well.
hench.
Yeah, he's not hench, but he's like, you would spend like a little old man with like frail, and it was like,
He's quite solid here.
Knew it. It just reaffirms and confirms what I believe. from the
We're
start.
learning.
Well, if you don't mind, I've got some cleaning up to do. So, I bid you a good night. And unless there's anything else I can help you with, I better get this cleaned up and get some sleep.
Hey, look, it's snowing. And then Withers just walks outside.
Closing the door behind us. I sincerely apologise and just close the door into the street, leaving her. So
Okay, so you're back out in the street, with an acquired picture / notepad, and some pipes and tobacco, and some fancy tobacco for Mr. Withers. I'll go back quickly to Erdan and Danys. So Danys, just give me a performance check of how your trumpet playing is catching on in for the people of.
Let's go high. Nat 20.
Oh my flipping god! So that is what a finale this has been for young Danys and his trumpet playing skills. So with that, you've just grown into this. You've got more and more, and you're going flipping James Dean, James Brown. You're going flipping. You are cracking out the crazy ass jazz, and you're like the freestyle jazz type trumpet playing going on. And there's drinks flying. There's more people have come off the street. Even people have gone to get people to come in now, and it's quite busy now. It's like twice as many people as when the guys left. And there's people that have been drinking. This has been going on maybe half an hour. These guys have been gone, so you've just been. There's drinks flying. People are spending money now, and Edric's like, "Oh my god, I ain't got enough brandy to go around." And even the nobles that were playing the card games, they've come out now and they're all dancing. And there's like a couple snogging where it's just got so emotional in the corner. It's just, and I mean, people are having a bloody good night. And then you finish off and you do this massive, great finale. Please feel free if you want to do a rendition of your trumpet playing skills. I'm not going to attempt a trumpet playing. Trumpet playing noise.
Come on.
I
Cheers,
should.
bro.
That's what's getting people going.
People started crying now. No, I'm joking. Yeah, you do this big finale, and your dancing lights have just gone into this massive, almost like a big spotlight where it's almost blinded everyone, and then it comes down to a slight faded light and big finale, and everyone's cheering and they're shouting, "Encore! We want more! We want more! Get this man a brandy!" And are you guys heading back in?
All of you.
Yeah.
Next round on me.
yeah, we'll be heading back.
Next round
Oh, shit,
on
my friends
him.
are here. I gotta go.
As you walk in, Edric's coming over with 2 trays of brandies and wine and ales and hollow ales, and you guys walk in to see this massive ruckus of near the stage. So they've all crowded up to the front and left the sort of bar bit, and Edric's trying to shuffle past everyone, and he passes up, puts on the side of the stage a nice big brandy for you, Danys. Erdan, you hear all this from upstairs. So you hear this massive trumpet and noise, dancing, cheering, and you guys enter to see this, and you think, "Oh my god, we left a sad little 12-roll trumpet playing with a couple of guys that were sort of barely interested in what was going on, to a mass gig that's been happening from outside the tavern as you enter."
I'm gonna have to get my groove on. And just sort of
Withers just pulls his, like, hitches up his robes and just wanders down to the dance floor and just starts.
Shimmies
Oh,
down.
no.
He's got his cane. And he's like.
We'll look on with a mixture of a certain amount of admiration mixed with a certain amount of horror that discretion is seemingly going somewhat out the window a little bit, but with a mixture of admiration as well. And he'll turn to Winid and say, I feel this job might be becoming more complex.
Hey,
Not
come
everybody
on,
is.
let's have a good time.
So
Not
as-
everybody
as-
is as professional as you, Francis.
So as you guys join the dancing from sort of working your way into the crowd, Edric comes past with another 3 sort of brandies, hands them one to each of you as he sort of shuffles past, and he's trying to get shoulder to shoulder and out the way, and eventually breaks out the end of the crowd and hurries back to the bar. And you finish with a big finale, Danys, and big cheers, massive applause, and everyone's very much appreciative of the mass performance you just hit with a nat 20. Oh.
Amazing.
Oh yeah, hang on. I don't know if
That nice.
Very nice, very nice.
Okay, so everyone sort of slow. that was how it started. That's how it finished. So as everyone disperses for the evening, Edric is kind of walking around tidying up the glasses after the big event that Danys unexpectedly put on for him for the evening. He's kind of collecting all the glasses. You know, there's glasses now strewn everywhere after this. So he's going around picking it up. And there's the guy at the front, the sort of little quivering wreck that was at the front, showing people around. He's now wiping down tables and stuff. And you guys are just slouched on the table. After your exhaustive
Withers is
performance.
going to go up and go to bed.
Yeah, I'll note that we're missing one already, who in Erdan that went up earlier, and I'll give Danys a nod and say well done, but then I'll retire up to bed as well with the aim to come down
Okay.
at dawn.
2, 3 retired, and Winid and Danys are left at the table. Everyone else is made their way home for the evening.
Yep. I'll grab a drink and then just head up.
Could I mention that I haven't been sleeping and instead trying to make contact with my patron for purposes of knowledge about the mission?
Yes. Go on. When you say patron, which
Say that again, sorry?
did you say? Trying to make contact with your patron,
Yes.
which is which patron are we talking about? Sorry.
Just a fiend patron, a mind flayer.
Oh, just a mind flare.
Yeah.
Just
Okay.
a mindful.
Damn.
So yes, you've been sat in your room, and maybe describe or explain what
Just
I do know.
locked room, dimly lit,
Mhm.
using whatever I can. The orb that I have in my inventory, summoning familiars, nothing seems to have worked.
Okay. So you've been trying to find out about Lord Altharion and Priestess
Yeah,
Lyria.
just to see if there's anything I could find out.
I guess without for the want of repeating what the guys heard from Willow and such, you don't hear anything additional. You don't hear. You know that Lord Altharion is not quite just a financial support for Hollow Tree. He's in it for his own gain, if you like, and you know that Priestess Lyria isn't the all-holy priestess that she seems to be. You know that obviously the Edric now that you found out before, but you know that he is under the on the payroll for Lord Altharion. The Veiled Blades are the hired guards for Lord Artharium. There is the Emerald Sentinels, the Devouts for Lyria, but you know that Lyria's not all that she seems. But yeah, that's pretty much what you get, as do the rest of the group from questioning Willow.
Okay.
You do have a notepad which we can come to when you come round for the morn. You do have Willow's notepad,
Which is still a picture.
yeah, which is still a picture at the moment, which you can stare at as you retire to bed.
Just put it on the mantelpiece. Just
Yeah,
go
next
on in.
to- just start stroking it on your chest as you're sleeping. So yes, so what we will do is we will call it there for the evening. We will resume session 2 when you come back down for the morning or awake in your rooms the following day, and the town is yours to explore and question anybody you wish to question. But yeah, so we'll call it there. Thank you.
Mate.
Thanks,
It was
guys.
good.
Lovely.
Thank you very much.
Well,
Thank
yeah.
you. Thank you.
Right,
Okay, guys,
Thanks everybody
appreciate
for
it.
watching. We've got
Thank
Everlorn
you,
tomorrow
everybody.
night.
yes, yeah.
So we've got another session of Everlorn. If you want to join our Discord, there's links below. And obviously we've got our YouTube as well. So, come by, drop us a follow, drop us a sub. It's all appreciated. And hopefully you guys drop in for Mike and the crew tomorrow for Everlorn. But it's been an absolute pleasure, everyone here. And hopefully we don't have any problems again like we did with the stream. But hey, these things happen.
Always going to happen. Okay, top
Well,
team.
attack.
Cheers, guys.
Thanks, guys. Take it steady.
Thank
Yeah.
you.
You know.